Okay.
At least.
You guys would, if anybody would have known, my character does not have a name. He goes by Cat.
Huh.
Okay, you good. Yeah.
Yeah, at least that's what everybody in the crew calls him. Hey, Cat.
It happens.
He hadn't earned his name yet.
I suppose.
Okay, so we're off the ship now. I am kind of standing there looking around like, whoa.
Oh, I could use a drink.
Okay.
I follow the dwarf.
So yeah, as soon as you get off the ship, and by the way, I am setting this to stream kind of DVR it so I can study the footage. I'm just letting you all know I need to record this for basically my own reference.
Yeah.
Figure out what exactly goes right, what goes wrong.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not gonna
no, that's
hide
cool.
anything.
Yeah, because remember you asked before we started a while ago that.
Yeah, I just need the audio.
Oh shit, I forgot my drink.
Yes, you can record us.
Thank you.
Me anyway, I have no problem with that.
Okay.
If you hear any strange sounds, it's me filing my nails.
So yeah, this is a large area. Very large island. Immediately after getting off the boat, you come across what is essentially a bit of a bazaar area. But it's not like one of those Moroccan bazaars so much as everyone's kind of inside and they have a stall that's basically the front window of their shop. Like, people don't want to leave their houses to do the shop, but at the same time, they do have to have the display window.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm definitely looking and browsing,
Yep, same.
even though I have no money.
What is anyone looking for? I know you're looking for a bar.
Just browsing. She's been, they've been on it for 2 months.
I'm just looking and marveling at all the stuff. Holy cow, I've never seen as much stuff in my life.
There are 3 stalls that are actually outside, kind of like a Skyrim market outside. They are 3 fruit and vegetable vendors all set up there. They seem to have the exact same products. You notice on their necks that they all have a holy symbol on their neck. Each of them has a symbol of Joaquin. But then pinned to their jackets are 3 different symbols.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right.
My character has absolutely no knowledge what any of that means.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna approach them and ask them what exactly they're selling.
Okay, there are 3 of them. Would you like to approach 1, 2, or 3?
3.
Okay. He's like, oh, hi, my name is Theo. I have cabbages, I've got strawberries, and I've got apples. Which takes your fancy? And then one of the other sellers, hey, you don't want his product, and they have the exact same voice. You don't want his product. He dips his apples in shite. You want to come over to mine? It's like, that is a vicious lie. So, what can I help you with? Would you like cabbages, apples, or strawberries?
Strawberries.
Strawberries. All right. That'll be 2 silver. And the other guy's like, you're ripping it off. Come over here. I got strawberries just as good as his. It's like, hey, shut up. And the third one's like, hey, all y'all, mind your tongue. And they all have the exact same voice. And as you see, they actually all look very similar. Just different hairdos.
Can I look to see who has the better strawberries?
Roll me perception.
Okay, she got a 4.
They all seem exactly the same.
Alright. How much are you selling them to the one that was saying that was getting out of the
Oh, for a pretty lady like you, I'll give you a deal. Only 1 silver. It's like, you don't know how to profit.
I'm so sorry, they're funny. Well, you got a deal. I'll take one.
Alright, thank you for shopping with Ted. Suck it, Theo. Like, wait till I tell Mom on you. You don't know how to fucking make a profit on your business. Third one throws a cabbage at the other 2.
All right, boys. That's enough.
Yep. So yes,
All over the strawberries.
for one silver, you now have.
Yep.
You now have a good bag of strawberries. It's not a large amount.
Yeah.
It's like one of those value packs you get at Walmart.
Yeah.
You know, just not in the plastic.
Okay, so how many silver equals a gold piece? So I can
10.
Okay.
10 gold equals, or 10 silver equals a gold piece.
Okay, because yeah, records.
All right. Sorry, I forget. Aaron, what's your character's name?
My character's name is Artoris Flint.
Taurus. Okay. Anything you'd like to check out? There's been a debacle at the fruit and vegetable stand.
You there, fruit man!
Hey! They all just like look over at you. That you can see that they're almost their faces look copy pasted, but their hairstyles are different, and they're all wearing different pins on their
Oh,
jackets.
God.
Where can a traveler get a good glass of wine?
They're gonna be fun to draw.
Good glass. And then one of them was like, "Well, you want to go to the Jingling Jester? That's the only place to go." Ah, you wouldn't know good wine if it bit you on the ass, Ted. Look, if you want a good glass of wine, you got to go to the I forget the name. You've got to go to the Moonlit Elf. It's the only place to get a proper glass of wine. Moonlit Elves for suckers! It's like, you're a sucker, you're a cocksucker, now get over here and fight me! And they start throwing shit. As the third guy is like, yeah, we got 2 bars. The other guy is just calmly like leaning over. Like, look, we got 2 bars. We have the Jingling Jester for those who are a little down on their coin but want some good times. Or we got the Moonlit Elf, which is for the nobility.
Well, I know which one I'm going to.
And then you hear the 2 that are fighting. The Jingling Jester? No, he's going to the friggin' Moonlit Elf. And they're starting to punch each other now.
Oh, I will leave you gentlemen to your business. And I move.
I lean down to the dwarf and ask, is this normal in places like this?
It depends, I suppose.
Oh, trust me, my furry friend. I'm sure it could be a lot worse.
So where are you off to?
I am going to make my way to the Jingling Jester.
All right. Checking out any
Due-
more of the stores
due to my
before you get
lack
there?
of due to my lack of noble coin.
All right. I will follow him after.
Okay.
Just like, hey, thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
there are many other shops in this area. These guys are just the only ones operating outside,
Yeah.
essentially.
Probably investigate them later.
It's probably because if they were inside, they would throw their fruit and make a scene, but outside, it's not their business to clean up. So yeah, heading to the Jingling Jester.
Yes.
It's not a very large bar, but it's comfortably sized. As you enter, it's got one of those little bells that, jingles when you get in. It is just filled with like laughter, bodied singing, like just, there are guys doing sea shanties that don't rhyme, that are off tune, that occasionally some of them drift in and out of, like they don't know all the lyrics to.
And that's the story of the one-eyed sailor.
If that's what they're saying, and I'm just over here like.
Above it all, there is the sound of a flute playing. And roll me perception.
Okay.
11.
8.
Well,
19.
yeah, the cat and the cat and the cleric notice that there is a rooster on the bar that is kind of like kicking its feet to dance, along with the flute playing and the loud, and it's got a tip jar.
I actually lick my lips.
Bad idea. That's a very bad idea. Please don't eat the cat. I mean the rooster. My God.
Cat, don't eat the rooster.
Yeah, don't eat the bird.
If a tabaxi eats a regular cat, is that considered
That's not
cannibalism?
food?
Huh?
Oh my God, that's a good
That's
question.
not food?
That's not food. As people are tossing the chicken coin, or the rooster coins every once in a while. It has a leash that is actually connected to the bar.
Why do you keep a dancing chicken and not eat it? Huh.
Or maybe your stomach's speaking for you a little bit. Maybe we should get something to eat while we're here.
That's just what my character asks the dwarf and you. Why would they not eat the dancing chicken?
Well, my good furry friend, probably because they keep it for entertainment purposes.
Oh,
There would most likely be any number of other things they could eat. However, this one bird must entertain them.
Okay. This place is very strange. I am afraid I am kind of at a loss here.
Well, I think you're speaking with your stomach. I pulled out a strawberry. You should probably eat.
The elf goes to hand you a strawberry.
A straw boober?
I would take it and just kind of ask, what is this?
It's a strawberry. It's food.
It's food? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you eat it.
He'd actually try it. Hopefully he's not allergic to them.
No, jeez. I forgot food allergies are still a thing.
Can cats eat strawberries?
That's a good question.
Yes,
Yeah.
they can.
Okay.
At least mine do. Good God. Like strawberries.
Oh, Jesus.
3 of them that'll steal them. Oh. Yeah, so they don't eat the grapes, they just beat the shit out of them.
Dexter hates grapes. Like, he attacks grapes.
I've known my
Like-
grandma keeps grapes on the counter and none of the cats touch them. It's hilarious. She
Yeah.
wants us to eat them too, by the way.
Oh,
That's why she
yay.
keeps them on the counter, is for us to steal
Oh,
them too.
well, I didn't even know.
So I find that funny. We have to keep our grapes in the refrigerator, otherwise we find raisins hidden under the couch.
Yeah.
Or in the couch.
Ew.
Ugh.
Yes, that's why I don't allow food in that room.
So
So
yeah.
yeah, I would eat the strawberry. I've never had it before. It is quite unique. And I would say thank you.
Yeah, it's no problem. I
I
hope
just-
it's to your liking.
Come on, he's a cat. It's green. He'll eat it.
So you're in a
He's
loud
never had strawberries before.
party bar. What would you like to do?
I am, like I said, just looking around because I do not know what to do.
Eventually you see the source of the fluting. It is a blue tiefling. He has very bright red, yellow, and purple jester clothes, long purple hair. There's bells hooked onto his horns, like a jester's cap. He has bells attached to his wrist, attached to his shoes, and they add to the flute performance as he plays.
Okay.
I
I
kind of
watch.
approach, but not too close. Just just listen in.
It's a really good performance.
That's good.
Nice.
Is there like a little tip jar for him?
If everybody starts clapping, I will follow suit.
Occasionally
Like I
people
said,
are clapping, but they're all kind of drunk, so no one knows when to clap exactly.
Okay.
He's mostly working the crowd, it looks like. Like, he's not stationary in one spot, he is wandering around the area.
So I follow the elf and the dwarf. The Tabaxi does not know what to do in this type of social setting. It is completely foreign and alien to him.
My friend, you seem at a loss.
I have never been in a place like this. I only know of training in the arena.
Oh, Lord. Oh, by the
I
gods,
hear those. I hear those chanting in the audience and the crowd sometimes.
by the gods, it sounds like such a terrible existence.
It is all I know.
Well, then, you shall know of wine. Come with me.
Yeah, heading to
I
the
follow.
bar, you get up close to the dancing rooster.
This rooster is not for eating.
Yeah, you see now that on the leash he's got a little collar.
What is the rooster's name?
Razzle dazzle.
Ah, yes, the old razzle dazzle.
Oh my god.
And yes, he has his own
I
little
want-
tip jar.
So I watched the bird with intent, but not intent to eat, just intent to watch.
Occasionally he crows with the music, but it's not when the music exactly is supposed to have that accompaniment. It's like a second off. He's trying his best.
I still just kind of watch the bird. I don't trust it.
So, I order wine from the barkeep.
Yep, the barkeep. All right. So that's how many of you?
That will be the two of us. You there, who is also on the boat with us. Are you having wine with us?
Sure.
3.
All right. I think that'll be about 7 silver.
The math seems off.
8 silver.
Okay, now you're just trying to rip us off.
Well, I offered you 7. You said it wasn't good enough.
No, I said you don't know math. But I'll take it.
Would 9 make more sense to you?
That's literally 3 apiece.
If it'll ease your minds, 9 silver.
No, I'll take at 8 silver.
Okay then.
And then I throw the last 2 silver from 1 gold into the tip jar for the rooster.
He like crows out of place as soon as the money hits the jar, and it actually is kind of discordant with the music because it wasn't timed.
Yes.
As you watch, as he like actually looks over into the chip jar and he chicken scratches too. You know, taps out.
Yeah. All right then.
So you get your drinks. It's okay wine. It's not the best. You've had better, I'm assuming.
I would drink it down.
No. Even if the wine is terrible, you must not gulp it down straight. just drink it slowly. Absorb the taste on your tongue. Oh, this was not a good year, but it's wine.
It's alcohol. It is the booze.
Was this vintage Thursday?
Are you seriously asking the bartender? Or?
No.
Okay.
I'm not gonna disrespect the bartender in his own home. Ugh. That was certainly wine.
Yeah, you sure seem to like to whine about it.
People enjoy drinking this stuff?
Yes.
It kind of tastes like fermented soup.
Well, technically speaking, it kind of is.
I'm getting wine for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that was not pleasant for me at a run fest.
If fermented soup helps the description, then yes.
Well, I'm not sure what the proper word would be. Rotten, 3-day-old, 10-day-old.
Let's go with fermented.
Eventually, the tiefling takes his bow and puts his flute away, then comes up to the counter and sits next to the rooster, who also stops dancing.
Well then.
Bird stopped dancing.
Hmm?
I point out the bird stopped dancing.
Oh yes, it's probably taking a break.
Ah.
Yeah, now the bird is just eating from a pile of seeds that the bartender kind of slides his way in almost like an ashtray that's been retrofitted into a chicken. Yeah.
A chicken feed bowl.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Shut up, there's not a bar in real life that I know that does this.
Is the bird energized?
I slowly sip my wine.
Okay. Yeah, the crowd kind of dies down a little bit with all the with the guy not working it into a frenzy anymore. The dancing kind of stops. The sea shanty-ishes, they're not really good shanties. They also kind of get quiet and people just go back to drinking a bit. It settles down. Like, the alcohol is starting to have its effect and people are not so much partying so much as getting a little melancholic from it.
Okay.
Well,
It's happy hour, no.
yeah, the mood died faster than, when a Demogorgon walks in the room.
Oh, Jesus. That can be a party, too.
Well, at least we're not doing karaoke.
What would you like to do
And
from here?
I sit and just kind of look at the tiefling.
Alright. Roll me perception.
14.
Doesn't seem to be much off about him. Just weird. I don't know if you've seen a tiefling before. It's just blue demon person just
No,
kind of sitting there.
Never seen one before.
Yeah. Yeah, blue demon
So,
person
no
just
one
sitting there.
knows.
Just kind of drinking. He's settled down quite a bit. You can see that his eyes are pure red. No iris or pupil, just pure red. His tail doesn't seem to be very active, and you as a cat person would know that a tail usually, says exactly what you're emotionally feeling, but this tail is just kind of hanging there.
Yeah. I look over and I ask him, does your tail work or is it broke?
He sips and he looks over, he's like, oh, yeah, I don't have much in the way of feeling of it anymore. Yeah, no, my tail doesn't quite work. But, thank you for asking such a personal question right off the bat. Nice to meet you, by the way.
Nice to meet you. What are you?
Oh, well, I am an entertainer in these parts. I am the jingling jester in a way.
I am an entertainer as well, I guess.
Burly sword. Do you chase a ball of string around a stage, or?
No, I crush skulls and impale people on spikes.
Oh, just as fun.
My favorite thing is my claws, is I pull them out and unsheathe them.
Everyone roll me perception as he pulls his claws out. 9.
Ooh.
Don't notice anything.
15.
Something shifted in his hair when he pulled his claws out.
In
In the tiefling's hair. Something moved.
Interesting.
So I got a 15.
Are
It's
you?
one of them, your hair moved.
Oh yeah. I thought you were attacking him. Holy shit. Said I got a 15. I'm like, wait, what?
No, on perception.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
no, that was the perception.
Okay. Yeah, as you pull out your claws, you notice that something in his hair moved.
What was that?
Was what?
Oh.
Your hair moved.
Oh, does that. As he uncomfortably just shifts his hair around. It's very long.
Living hair?
Huh?
Indeed.
You have living hair?
I wouldn't say living hair, just moves. If anyone would like to call bullshit, just shout an insight check, by the way.
I saw nothing, so I can't really.
Yeah, you saw nothing. You're hearing this, though.
Yeah.
I will definitely roll that
just
insight
like,
check.
Just like, how to break the awkwardness.
I've been watching Critical Role, so I just assume that insight checks come after every line.
I got a 10.
Seems on the level. Seems a little nervous, but
Well, if you don't want to share, I won't pry.
Yeah, he's just tired from
Some
entertaining all day.
strange man.
But aren't we all?
so I take it you're all new to the Isles.
Yes.
I imagine we all would have met before if you were not new. So I take it you came in on the boat today.
Oh,
Yup.
yes.
I mean, it's the only way in, not in or out of the Isles. So frankly, what else am I to expect?
Oh, shit.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, we swam here.
I was wondering where the cable was.
Oh, mermaids then. Okay.
Oh, funny.
I consider myself thus.
Yeah.
However, yes, we came on the boat.
Well, what do you think of our insanely industrialized little town?
Oh, you definitely have some interesting settlers outside.
Oh, you should see the ones that are, not those nutty bags that try to sell fruits.
Yeah. Was the strawberries actually good?
They were okay.
Yeah.
Eggs.
You
I've
s-
never
y-
seen such a large, what did you call it, city?
Well, then you'll be surprised. This isn't even our biggest. This is just where everyone goes to trade. There's lots of sellers here, so if you're looking for anything, chances are you might find it here. Unless it's weapons. Then you'd probably have to go, elsewhere.
Hmm.
Is there an arena here?
No. It's, well, I mean, there's a political arena, but that's a little more bloodthirsty than most arenas, huh?
As they usually are.
I think tomorrow's actually the argument, the debate.
A debate, you say?
A public forum for people to ask questions and, have them argue it out.
Is there much bloodshed?
Well, they wish there was. And in a way, kind of, but not in a literal way, my friend. I take it you're kind of literal.
Yes.
Yeah, currently we don't have a leader. Our last one, may have died of the plague.
A plague, you say? And I'm so glad we came here.
Yes.
It's not overly infectious. Mostly the victims are people who've been to the colony.
A colony?
The colony, there's a difference.
The colony?
Mm.
Yeah.
Final look at the dwarf. What is a plague?
Well, I
Schedule?
assume you're from a fighting pit. Have you not ever had
Yeah.
sickness ravage your stable of fighters?
We did have a couple of guys whose wounds did not get treated properly and they died from poisoning. But as far as sickness, I don't really know.
It's almost similar, except you don't catch it from untreated wounds.
Ugh,
You catch it from other infected people.
sounds awful.
Oh, they always are.
Anyway, so right now they're having a debate between the candidates that want to try to take over in his stead.
Well, this might be worth a watch.
Yeah.
Mm.
Might as well see what the hootin' and hollering's about.
Well, I mean, the candidates are all shifty in their own ways. No one's
Well,
right for the job, I don't
You
think.
just had to say candidate, and I assumed they were shifty.
So you've been in politics.
I've been around cities.
Mm.
So where would one go to obtain money or gold and silver such as this?
I imagine some people have work needs done. Not necessarily any specific way. Most of us have already set up shop, so good luck trying to, create a business. But I mean, most people can always use some help of some kind. I imagine they'd fork over some money for that. Just don't get into the bar playing business, cause I'd be afraid to hurt the competition.
Well, we wouldn't want that now, would we?
As he just sits there and stares blankly, he has absolutely no idea that he just got threatened.
Are you just gonna take that? Just sitting there, my
I'm
friend?
I don't think it
No,
applies.
I honestly didn't hear what she said.
Oh, she just asked if you were just gonna sit there and take that. But if I may, I don't think it applies to him, as he doesn't seem like the very entertaining type.
Yeah, that is true.
I am a great entertainer, at least for the matches I have won.
Now, how do you fare singing shanties or playing the horn?
I have never done so.
Then, my good jingling jester, you are safe.
Yeah, that's quite a relief. So, if I may ask, what brings you all to the Isles?
A boat.
Okay, that's good to note.
I was supposed to be transferred to such and such place for a match, and I was placed on a boat, and now I'm here. They took my chains off and told me I'm a free man.
I mean, there's no slavery here in Reidlein, so obviously, yeah, they wouldn't have. Yeah, and I know exactly what it's like to be living in chains, my friend, so I don't envy you that.
Wow.
But other than that, I am at a loss as to what I am doing here or what to do.
Well, you're all able-bodied people. I imagine you'll probably fall prey to the machinations at some point. I am pretty sure the political candidates would be eager to get any of you on the payroll if they could manipulate you into serving their needs.
If their needs involve bloodletting, I'd be more than happy.
Oh, I am more than certain some of them do. No, you don't get high up without shedding some blood.
Oh, by the gods, I had not imagined subterfuge would end up on my to-do list.
Yeah, otherwise, you can probably arrange passage to any of the other islands. There's Aiden Thea. If you're tough enough, you could join the military, make a good wage that way. If you wanted to go to Briston Cliff, I'm sure the nobles are hiring for, fools and the like, someone they can mock, because they do that. Eladon, there's not much to do unless I imagine you're the religious sort, I suppose?
Oh, a little bit.
That's kind of the center of all the religion here, so if you wanted to enter their, holy service and help them destroy all of the nature on the island, then, that's where to go.
Probably not. I was actually sent to, do some fighting.
Yeah. Otherwise, there are some minimal islands here and there, but no one ever goes near those. I think there's a poor fellow here who can tell you a sob story about one of those islands, but I ain't buying him drinks again.
Kind of want to hear this story.
One of those sob stories.
Can you point out this man? I would like to maybe hear this story.
If you see an older gentleman on the other side of the bar, because I sit as far away from him as possible now after that last time. Yeah, you should be able to ask him anything you'd like. I'm trying to remember his goddamn name. His name's Cormac. Cormac Lindsay. Got quite a sob story for anyone who'll buy him a drink, or occasionally he'll buy the people a drink to get them to tell, and honestly, that's still not a fair price.
Can I see if I see him?
Okay, go ahead and roll perception.
I want to know the story.
Oh my god, I didn't expect to have to pull that up so fast.
So it's, what are we doing, investigation?
Perception.
It's just perception.
So that would be a dirty 20.
Holy fuck, yeah, you figure out that one of the guys at the other side of the bar is definitely a lot more sad and didn't really invest with the rest of the partying. He's just kind of, looking into his cup of ale that's only half drunk, and it seems to have been that way for the entirety you've been there.
Oh.
Just kind of lost in his own thoughts and memories.
Oh.
Peppered, gray-black beard.
Yeah.
Clothes are just brown, plain.
All right. I turn to the bartender. Hey, can I get a couple drinks? Just regular beer.
Just regular beer?
Yes.
All right. And this is just you asking?
Yes.
All right. That'll be a silver.
Okay. All right. So I did get 2 of them, right?
Yes.
All right. So I take both of them and go to the man.
Okay.
And I just sit down, slide him one of them.
All right. You go right up to Cormac?
Yep.
Like, thank you. I didn't expect someone. You're new, aren't you?
Yeah. I've been getting out of that.
Well, thank you for the drink.
Yeah. You just seemed a little lonely over here. Thought I'd get you some company.
No one really
I
wants.
will follow you.
Huh?
I will follow the elf.
Okay.
Okay.
No one really wants to talk with old Cormac anymore, not after everything, and I've been here so long, nobody really wants to hear it. There's only so many times you can tell a pair of ears that have already told.
Well, I'm willing to listen.
Oh, well. Pull up a seat, I suppose.
Yeah.
You and any of your cat friend there seems to be watching me.
Yeah. Yeah, he does that.
Isn't it bad luck to have a black cat cross your path? Or, there's no more bad luck that can be had for me. I'm at the rock bottom.
Well, I'm sure your life will get better.
Oh, it can't.
Bad luck.
I'm waiting to die at this point. Waiting for he sloshes the drink around. Waiting for it to finally consume me.
Well, we're all gonna die eventually.
Exactly. And for some of us, that's a mercy.
If you wish to die, I can speed the process up for you if you'd like.
No.
Did you guys actually want to hear the fucking story?
I do. I'm so sorry. I do.
Holy fuck, I expected this to happen much later in the
I'm
campaign.
so sorry.
You have nothing to apologize. I just want to make sure everyone wants to listen to this before I even start, because holy shit.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'm so
No.
sorry.
My character's not threatening him. He's just telling him if he wants to die, he can help him.
Yeah.
So you're just being really matter of fact.
Huh?
So you're just being really matter of fact.
Yeah. He's just letting him know, well, if you truly wish to die, my friend, I could gladly take you out. Easier passing, make it quick and painless.
Let me see. It all happened a long time ago. When I was much younger. My beard was not so full of gray as it is now. He just is looking forward. Just like that nothing now.
Alright.
I had a daughter.
I was just going to say, I kind of look off to see where he's looking to.
He's looking at absolutely nothing that you can gather.
He's just spacing out. Let him tell a story.
I'm listening, but I'm still trying to figure out what he's staring at. I mean, I am a cat after all.
I didn't even do that. I'm an idiot.
I had a daughter. Her name was Chris. She was a wild girl. She loved nothing more than to go horse riding in the field while there were still fields. Holy shit. You see, my family, my family and this other family, we kind of lived on one of the other islands. Didn't really have a name, and the trade was good. It was a lot bigger back then. It was just 3 farmsteads, really. Not much else. Just us, the Lindsays, the Moncriefs, and I can't remember the name of the other guys. They were pleasant, but they kept to themselves so much I hardly even noticed. Anyway, I had a daughter named Chris. She was wild. She loved to ride their horse around. She'd come to the main island just to get the good, ride for hours. Our neighbor, the Moncriefs, they had a boy. His name was Connor. Now, if there was ever a stroke of evil, I would have said it belonged to Connor. That boy was nothing but trouble from the day he was born. Like, the minute he bit the midwife that brought him into this world. Killed his mother coming in. Well, coming out, really. But that's beside the point. His father was devastated by our loss. He hardly paid attention to the boy. Whenever the boy did something wrong, he'd pay him off. He didn't really care for his son. Connor was strange. A lot of the time, he had these dark eyes that would just gaze into your soul and make you feel like he was evaluating everything you ever did wrong and judging you for it. But then he'd do something wrong, like setting the barn on fire. And yet you'd still feel judged the minute you locked gazes with that little bastard. Now, anyway, he developed feelings for my little girl. I told her no daughter of mine is gonna marry that boy. Naturally, she disregarded everything I had to say. But in the end, they were to get married. They were to meet on the hill. And she never showed up. She didn't come. She decided she didn't want to be stuck with him forever. The very next day, I remember, she couldn't get out of bed. She was so sick with the plague. She was like the first victim. I did my best to try to help her, but she got sicker and sicker. Connor came in. He was furious, but then he saw her in the bed. He rushed to her side and asked what he could do to help her. She told him she had one wish. And as she went to whisper it in his ear, all she whispered was her dying breath. I buried my daughter. Connor was changed. He stopped being trouble, but he started getting involved in them dark magics. Next thing I knew, he was riding around town on a horse that I had never... This monstrous thing with these dead eyes. Blue flames from its mane and tail, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The man started dressing strange, nothing but savage pelts, going for a long time without bathing. His hair grew long and unmanageable, just tangles. The girls in the main town here in Bellavenier, they all started going missing. And every single time, it was after they were seen with him. Now he was a handsome bloke. He wasn't unattractive by any means, but yeah, it was trouble. We all knew it. Well, first one girl would flirt with him. He'd flirt back. He'd give her something, and then next thing you knew, we were all looking for her. Couldn't find her. This happened to 7 different girls before we all realized it had to be him. We couldn't stand by any longer. We kept hoping it wasn't him. That's something. Like, I grew up, I helped this boy grow up. I saw him grow up, you know? He pestered my farm more times than I could count. I couldn't believe he would do such a thing. Well, we confronted him when he was visiting Chris's grave. He didn't deny a thing. He just turned to us with a devil horse. He took a lot of our number, but we killed the bastard. We buried him next to my Chris. But that didn't stop him. Every month, I go back to my daughter's grave. I'm one of the only ones he lets through. I visit because I myself, honestly, I didn't go with them to kill him. I couldn't. I couldn't actually. I'm not a hero. I didn't help stop the monster. This was a boy I'd known since he was tiny. I couldn't do it. I watched them do it. He lets me visit my daughter's grave and bring flowers. Otherwise, anyone who tries to go to that island where our farms once were. The island itself, all the plants died, everything. It's nothing but a floating gravestone now, with Chris and Connor's grave. The island is covered in this darkness. Nothing grows there. Sometimes alchemists try to go there for some rare ingredients and such, but Connor, his ghost still haunts there. He drives them away on that giant black flaming horse. He drives them away, wielding a giant blade. He doesn't often kill unless they don't leave. If you leave fast enough, he might spare you. Every once in a while, though, we find a comb or a hairbrush or some trinket in a girl's bedroom, and then she's never heard from again. But there's nothing we can do about it. We can't go and kill him again. They've started calling it the Isle of Moncrief because of his presence there. It's about all there is to it. The isle itself has gotten much smaller. Over time, the soil's degraded into the ocean. It's not much of it left. Seems like. It's just, I miss my daughter.
Yeah.
And I worry that had I been there for Connor, maybe everything could have ended better. But no, I get to live with his ghost haunting me for the rest of my days, and probably longer. I don't think he's tied to me in any way. I think he's just waiting for her. I think he's waiting for her ghost so they can be married. But she'll never come. She's moved on. I think he wanted to know what her dying wish was, but she never told him. So he waits. But that's just an old man's theory. Thank you for the drink.
No problem. Yeah, that was
It would be
pretty
really
depressing.
neat to see a flaming horse.
Hmm?
It would be really neat to see a flaming horse.
Well, the flames are white and blue. They're not like your average campfire, lad. Lad? Yes?
Yeah. Okay.
You are male?
I've seen flaming horses before, usually in the Colosseum.
Oh, well.
Well, that's interesting.
So, yeah, interesting story.
Yeah.
Sorry your daughter died.
As am I. All I can do is keep her memory close and hope the drink eventually kills me. People here don't
As
usually
I said, if you want to go, I can send you along your way to meet her.
Nah.
Okay.
The people here keep me pretty supplied with drinks. I'm sure it won't be long, but I would just rather meet her with no more regrets. You know, I would love if Connor could find peace, but honestly, I've tried talking to the boy. There's nothing left. It's just a ghost. And if you don't believe me, go to the island yourself and see. I honestly wouldn't recommend it, but then you'll know I'm no liar.
Oh, I believe you. I just kind of want to see this ghost.
Side note, save it for when you're more leveled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, out of character, supernatural encounters don't sound like they're in our
Yeah.
wheelhouse.
Yeah, 3 level 1s go to fight the ghost.
Yes, boom, dead.
Who is definitely riding a nightmare.
But maybe we can talk to him.
Yes,
Well,
because
it was
Just
a
talking
great
to
story.
him and trying to reason with the ghost is going to work very well.
yeah, 3 strangers are gonna have more success than all of the locals that have tried to reason with him.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever tried to give him a beer?
He's a ghost. He won't
We've
be able to drink
tried pretty much everything by now. Even the guys from Eladon tried to exorcise the thing. Oh god. And he takes a drink after that one. He's like, that was a bloodbath.
Why would a ghost need exercise? He's dead.
Nah, you're funny.
I thought he was the funny one. Point to the bard.
He's alright. He's pretty funny, but honestly, he seems kind of shifted too.
Oh. You don't say. What about him as Shifty?
I mean, he's one of them devil people for the first stuff.
Oh.
And I know he saved the bartender's life or whatever to get the bar named after him, but honestly, I don't trust the fucker.
Just because he's a
I just
chicken?
want to know how he taught a chicken to dance.
Honestly, that's also confusing. I'm assuming devil magic.
What?
Why does his hair move?
What?
Why does his hair move?
I don't know. We've all taken bar bets on that one. No one really knows for certain. We've all seen it move at some point, but it's only the top part. It's like his hair isn't alive. Don't know. Bet you'd make a good amount of gold trying to figure that one out, but good luck regaining his friendship, jeez. Also, you know, you offend him and the bartender will kick you the fuck out. Apparently the two go way back.
Yeah, kind of fair though.
That's why he and his blasted chicken drink for free. Well, drink and eat.
Oh, so that's who the chicken belongs to. Okay.
Yeah. Usually leaves it here when he's not here, though.
Mm.
And the weird part is I've never seen him outside of this aisle. I've never seen him. When I've gone to Elodon, never seen him out there.
Huh, that's kind of weird.
When I've gone to Briston Cliff, I've never seen him there. But he's not always here on the island either. Like, he vanishes. I don't know, personally. I have no clue.
Maybe he has an alter ego.
Maybe.
Well, you said he is a devil, man. Maybe he uses his devil magic.
Yeah.
That's likely. I don't know. All I know is I can never find him if I'm not here in the Jingling Jester. Or sometimes he'll perform outside. But otherwise, never see the fucker. No one's ever claimed to see him outside of here. Then again, magic is pretty common around here.
Never seen it.
Hmm?
Magic. Never seen it.
Well, it's pretty common over here.
Ooh, I have prediction.
Like
I can fuck with the cat.
I know the guy who runs the butcher shop. He uses magic all the time, and there's even a shop that says, "I can't believe it's not magic yet."
Nice.
It's not magic. Unbelievable. This is not magic.
Oh shit, I can fuck with this cat.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you could.
I know I'm gonna butcher it. I have prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation?
Yes, and I can fuck with this cat because of the magic I
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah, that's little tricks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
was
think-
just,
Oh,
I
yeah,
was just
you-
reading some examples.
You really could.
But yeah, there are open pockets to the Feywild throughout these isles. Like, people are invested with magic all the time. I've just never been hit by it. I don't have any magic. About the only magical thing I've seen was Connor's ghost. I'm pretty sure that's some sort of magic.
Well, sometimes the dead just don't, rest.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. Hi, Dexter. Oh, Shanta. Hi.
Well, I look at my elven and my dwarf companion and be like, okay, we heard his story. What do we do now?
You mentioned you haven't seen magic before, my furry friend.
I have not.
Can I grab with the prestidigitation, can I grab like the glass and like change its color? So instead of like a clear white, it's like a clear blue or some shit.
Not permanently, but you could.
Yeah, it'd be temporarily.
Yeah, you would be able to conjure the illusion of it changing
Yeah.
while it's in your hand.
Yeah. All right, so that's what I do.
Yep.
I change the color.
What do you do? Make it change color?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's neat.
Yeah. And if I have him grab it, it'll go away. The color or.
Yeah, if it leaves your hand, the color is gonna go away.
Okay. You want to see another trick, my dear friend?
Sure.
Here, take the glass.
He would.
Okay.
It changes back.
Hand it back to her.
And then I change it again.
And take it back.
Just my mom with the sword.
Yes.
Is there anything in the glass?
No, it's an empty glass.
Okay. I was gonna say if there was, he drinks it.
Oh my god. But I think you've seen enough magic for right now, bud. You seem very fixated on just that.
So what other kinds of magic can you do, or is that it?
Oh, there's more, but you don't need to know.
I didn't hear.
She can do more, but none that you need to see right now. Hey, kitty.
I like the magic.
Well, the other stuff I have would probably hurt you a lot.
I'm used to being hurt.
Well, I ain't gonna do that.
Wah, wah, wah.
Or so I'm not wasting spell slots.
I'm
Just to
used
show
to
this
pain.
damn cat.
I mean, that's a good enough reason, you know.
I mean, I do have one cantrip that's technically an attack, but I'm still not gonna waste it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's Sacred Flame. What the fuck's that gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not a good idea right
Probably not a good idea inside an enclosed bar.
now. Yeah, yep. Oh no! Why did the bar get set on fire? The war cleric used Sacred Flame.
Oh, jeez. Good job.
I know. Okay.
Yes.
Maybe later I will show you some more magic, my feline fellow.
He would be interested in any magic she chose to show him. He's never seen it before.
Nice. I like to hear that kind of enthusiasm.
So, anyone want to do anything else?
Well, I think we should get out of here.
Okay.
That was depressing.
My character would be interested in asking around trying to find out how to make some money, because he doesn't expect the dwarf and the elf to pay for everything, and he's going to need to eat and buy clothes on his own.
How about I just give you a loan and you pay me back?
Okay.
All right. 10 gold.
10 gold?
Yeah.
He'd be happy with that.
Okay, now I need to make a note of that.
Yep.
The cat owes me 10 gold.
Good job.
What is your character's name?
Just a sec. Zillith?
Lilith?
Zillith. You need a spelling of that.
Just writing it down on my sheet that I owe you 10 gold.
Perfect. I'm losing a lot of money. And usually I'm pretty good at not doing that. As the rogue gives a tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's because a rogue usually tips with other people's money.
Well, that's a thief rogue.
He's an inquisitive.
Yeah.
And besides, he was feeling really shitty.
Anyway. So, there are other shops if you would like to check them out.
Yeah, might
There's...
as well.
Yeah.
Might as well. Let's see what other bullshit we can get into.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
So, there's Charo's Chops, which seems to be a butcher shop.
No.
There's I Can't Believe It's Not Magic Yet.
There we go. Let's
And
do
yes,
that.
there is a little attachment to the sign that says yet. It's like one long wooden block, for I Can't Believe It's Not Magic, and then a little
Around
nailed
the
on.
corner.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Hey, my tabaxi friend, let's go in there if you want to see some magic.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Are you going to join us?
Well, yes, of course.
You're going to see how shit goes down.
All right. As you head in there, you hear two voices. Hello, hello. And you see what looks to be the exact same guy.
More
Turn to you.
twins, or
Okay.
Welcome to I Can't Believe It's Not Magic. What he said.
yes.
I'm Lorius, and I'm Suriel.
Well, good day to you, gentlemen.
Welcome to the pottery shop. Is there anything you'd rather? I totally had you excited.
Oh.
You really did. I hate you.
It's just pots and pans and vases.
See, what the fuck is this shit look on her face? Like she's more disappointed than I am.
Oh, Lord.
Is there anything you're looking for? Just the two.
Magic.
Oh, well, look no further than us. You see, I'm Suriel, and this is Lorius. Lorius here is, I suppose, if you wanted to put a fine word on it, a simulacrum.
Oh, that is absolutely
Okay.
a fine word.
Whatever that is. Sure.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means.
Lorius looks over. Oh, I was made by a wizard to help him out.
Oh.
I'm basically an exact copy, but I get my own name
So
and my own
you're
badge.
not a real person?
I'm real enough. I
Kinda
have
like
rights. I can vote.
I whisper
Poke
to
his
the
shoulder.
back. And can I do this just to, like one, make sure there's some magic there, and to screw with the clone?
Wait, what are you doing?
Can I change his hair color temporarily?
No, you can't.
Oh, I have to touch him, huh?
In this case, you wouldn't be able to change the color of him
Yeah.
so much. You would be able to make it smell like you farted, but that's about it with prestidigitation.
Okay, well, I can do that then. But
Okay.
I'm gonna make him smell nice.
Oh, okay.
I'm not nass.
And which one are you doing this to?
The clone.
Okay.
Okay, I whisper to the tabaxi, you might want to smell a little bit. You're gonna smell roses really quick. And then I make him smell like a bouquet of roses.
Oh. And you notice that somehow the spell didn't come off of Lorius, but one of the pots intercepted the prestidigitation.
Well, you got a pot that smells like roses now.
Yeah, smells like a fresh bouquet of roses in that pot. Like, yeah, I wouldn't cast too much magic around here. These pots are extremely susceptible to spells.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to disenchant that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't believe it's not magic yet. All my pots hold extremely powerful spells. At a moment's notice, you can hold a spell in one of my pots.
Oh.
Well, at
I
least this
pick
one
one
was
up and
not
look
a
at
bad
it.
one.
Huh?
Huh?
So I pick one up and look into it like, ooh, what is that? I don't see anything in here.
Oh, all of our pots come free of magic currently, so you can fill it to your own custom need.
Oh,
Interesting.
well, that's not fun. I have no magic.
Ah. Well, you could, technically, you could get someone else to put a magic effect in it, and you would be able to cast that spell once.
Now I'm just thinking of a devious thought out of
I don't think
character.
I can
What if
cast
someone put
magic.
a fireball in it?
You would be able to trap that fireball inside the pot,
And
and then
what if
release it at an opportune
I was
moment.
gonna say, and then if you threw it at someone.
Our pots are pretty sturdy. You'd have to point it at someone. Like a cannon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry. You just...
devious thoughts abound.
Yes. Anyways. I'm so sorry. I'm a terrible person.
But yeah, all our pots are extremely sturdy. Pretty heavy. If you're not careful and you drop it, you could break your foot.
Lovely reference.
No one
Krista.
wants that.
No, why don't you just drop it on a bad guy's foot? Like he gets close enough and just.
It would only do a little bit of damage. It wouldn't
Well, make sure
do
you
much.
have like a fireball or something in it. And then boom.
Oh, this will end well.
Cat looks somewhat disappointed.
Aw.
No.
I'm sorry. I thought this would actually have magic. I can show you some tricks later if you would like.
Randomly roll me perception. I'm gonna have you guys do this all the time because of the crazy shit I fucking put in this shit.
9.
9.
13?
What? 13?
13?
12.
Okay. I would say that's high enough. You notice that the simulacrum brother, the twin, is actually wearing a little pendant that the first one is not wearing. There is a slight difference between the two.
Oh.
Okay.
If I were a guessing man,
I didn't
oh, I suppose that's to tell the difference.
Yeah, it kind of looks
Well,
like one
my
of.
character would have absolutely no knowledge, no idea about anything. But yeah, I get what you're going at.
Yeah, it kind of looks like one of those bottle things, but filled with like a purple red.
Oh, gotcha. So since they're pointing it out, I would notice then after they point it out.
Well, actually, they would. After they point it out, you would notice.
Okay.
Like,
And there is
Move.
contents in it, huh?
My chair.
yeah, doesn't look to. You can't really tell if it's liquid or solid or what.
What's in that little thing? You're not there.
Oh, it keeps me permanent, really.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, you better keep that like really secure.
Yeah. No, that's yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty important.
Oh yes.
It's quite literally life or death for you.
Yeah.
Just slightly very important.
Just might want to, like I said, keep a close grip on it.
Yeah. And I'm sure some players are gonna rip that off and break it.
Nope. Okay, maybe other
I
players,
have
yeah.
no interest in breaking anything.
Kind of surprised, like out of character, because he is a tabaxi, so I'm kind of surprised he didn't go
Well,
like.
there's no point in me breaking anything. He hasn't tried to attack.
Yeah.
That is true.
No, she's trying to say that you were gonna bat it around because you're a cat person.
Yeah. Because that's what I would have Kirana do out of assholishness. She's quite literally based off Kira.
Yeah.
Nice. Butthole kiddas.
I know. That was the point of her. I only played her once. I would love to play her again, but
Sorry.
So can you show us magic? Can you show me some magic?
I can't really cast magic in my shop. All the pots would catch them, and then they'd be harder to sell.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Well now.
I just realized.
Well,
those
thank
are
you.
good. Plenty
And I
hard
turn
to
around and
play.
walk out.
She could do a quote unquote magic trick if she wanted. Like a card trick. You're gonna want performance for that if I did that, huh?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, she's probably gonna fucking fail this because she doesn't have anything. An 18.
Ah, yeah, you manage a card trick.
Yeah.
No magic required. Doesn't get caught in pots.
Mhm. Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I do it for the tabaxi.
She did a fancy card
What
trick.
does she do? Okay. And he'd just kind of look at it and be like, what are those?
These are cards.
Hey, we have someone watching.
What?
Yeah. Hello.
And what are cards?
Wait, we have someone watching what?
Yeah, we have one person watching us as I'm putting this in here.
Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy. Oi, oi, oi.
Anyway. So, in the pot shop, what would you like to do?
Well, I kind of feel bad
As in
for
pottery.
I kind of feel bad that I trapped a spell in a pot, so I kind of feel bad.
Yeah.
Do you want me to like?
We can dispel it later.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many people come in and trap spells in here just to test them out, and then don't buy them.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but maybe you could smell that or sell that, because I mean, I'm sure people would like a pot that smells like flowers. That's a pretty good scent.
It is a pretty good scent, I'm not gonna lie. But most people want something a little more bang for their buck in this place.
Yeah.
Like, as she kept saying, a lot of people like to trap firebolt in a pot, and you throw it at someone. The pot doesn't break because our quality guarantee, our pots don't break, except in the most extreme of circumstances.
Great selling point.
Well, maybe you should make special pots just for that.
Shatterable? I don't know. That doesn't seem like a good
make
business
it so
practice.
like it won't like break when you accidentally knock it down, but like break when you just force it.
Well, that would take a lot of work. I prefer to just keep them the way they are.
Go suit yourself.
Eh,
Reese's.
his kitty is he's messing with him.
Can I?
I think.
So what are you streaming on Twitch or?
YouTube stream.
Oh. Joy. That means we get to watch this later.
And don't worry, I've already said this content is not for children, so.
Yeah. 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 Have you met the players?
Yeah,
We're
yeah, a
all
little bit,
terrible.
little bit.
We're all terrible people.
Yes, the DM have no concept of how terrible people you can be.
It's not like you live with
Oh,
one
we're
of them.
on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I gotta record this for later playback, and it's easier if I put it on my YouTube thing. So yeah.
Anyways.
So yeah.
Well, she's still disappointed that, like, she's not as disappointed now that she understands it, but she's still like, well, this is fucking bullshit.
You walked into a shop and you were so like blown away by the name that you just were so disappointed by what was actually being sold.
Yes. So she's gonna leave.
Okay. So yeah, there's still Charo's Chops, Literature of Legend, The Map Master,
Map.
Oscar's
You can get a map.
Oscar's Carpentry, Woven Wonders, Tactile Texture Treasures,
That has to be terrible.
and Sam's Breadtastic Creations.
Breadtastic?
Breadtastic.
You say.
The Mason. It's literally just labeled Mason. And Medical Mercies.
We don't need that.
I want to check out the one Chop Shop because that's the one where they said magic. He uses it all the time.
Yeah. All right. So the Tabaxi steps into Charo's Chops. Yeah, as you enter, you see a blonde gentleman. Really, really almost like babyish face. His bodily, he looks to be about in his 20s, but he has like the face of a 15-year-old.
Damn.
Okay.
Can I get
Who
some of
is
that? Personally.
yeah, who is currently cutting a what looks to be the remains of a pig.
Well.
Yeah, the boyish prettiness of this guy is almost detracted by all the blood around. Like there's animal bodies hanging from hook, the typical butcher shop.
Yeah.
There's like a little deli counter. It's like, oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello. I hear you do magic.
Oh, yeah, well, I only know the one magic, but I use it quite a bit.
What is it?
Oh, I know how to cast a sleep spell, so I can humanely put the animals to sleep before I,
Do your business.
Yeah. Makes it a lot more humane for them. And it doesn't spoil the meat.
Well, that's good.
What kind of meats do you have here?
Well, I got goat, I got ram, I have cow, I have, well, okay, don't let it get around that I have chicken, but I do have chicken.
Well then.
Yeah, I think we all know why.
Yeah, pork, I have just your basics. I raise the livestock myself, very humanely. They're all free range, treated very humanely. Always treated against disease.
Good.
Yeah. Fine guarantee on your meats.
Yes, because I love fine
How much
guarantees
for
on meats.
I guess a hind quarter portion of a cow?
That'll run you about 5 silver. I take very good care of my meats.
I'm assuming you
Okay,
have the
pull out
meats.
one of his gold pieces and just kind of
Okay,
lay it on the
sir.
counter.
But
How
you don't
many
have to.
hindquarters would that get me?
Wait, what'd you do?
Pulled out one gold piece.
That would get you about 2 of them.
I'll take 2 then.
Alrighty, let me get that package wrapped up for you. Be sure to place it somewhere cold so it can keep. Otherwise, if you're willing to cook it right away, well.
That's probably a guarantee.
Yeah. I don't have much in the way of Well, I mean, I have a little bit of a refrigeration spell with my thaumaturgy. I managed just enough to keep it
Just keep it
frozen,
cold.
but not much else. And honestly, it doesn't work that great. I have to recast every bit. But anyway, and yeah, he does chop up and serve you 2 hindquarter portions. And that kiddo needs a cuddle.
I immediately begin eating one of them.
Oh, sir, that's not hygienic.
Oh, this is so good.
Oh,
tear
okay.
off the big
Well,
hunk.
you know what? Maybe your system is better than mine.
Oh, God damn it, Rex. You're gonna kill a poor guy by making him suffocate in his own vomit.
This is really good.
Thank you.
Oh, man. You might want to just look away.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Are you sure you don't want that cooked?
Yeah, please. I would feel more than happy to cook that for you if you'd rather not eat it rare.
Rare.
Oh, that's quite a ways beyond rare, my friend.
I was trying to find a nicer way to say it.
It's raw.
Yeah.
It's very raw.
Oh,
Oh
yum.
my god.
He's purring.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
I hope that goes well with that strawberry.
Probably doesn't even think the two compare.
Yeah, he'd ask you guys if you want a bite.
Oh, I prefer mine just a tad less rare.
Well, he'd hand you the second one and ask however you'd like to eat it.
With fire.
Firepower.
Where can we get that?
Oh, that Dexter.
Yes, this kitty.
Yeah, he like I said, things like this are lost on him.
Yeah.
Right.
So he'd hand you guys the second shank just because you gave him the money and you bought him some wine, so he's giving you guys something to eat.
Maybe we'll have to save
If you
this for
choose to
later.
cook it, that's up to you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to save it for later.
But him, oh my god, this is delicious.
Good.
If you think raw meat is delicious, you're gonna love it cooked.
It's actually entirely possible he wouldn't.
That is true, but you never know.
And the good news is we guarantee that there's no parasites.
Did I hear
This is
that?
a good thing.
Was he stifling a gag?
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay. Just. By the way.
I asked him are you well? You seem rather green.
Yeah, I'm just not used to people eating in my shop, really.
It is okay.
Absolutely, I'll take it outside.
Just a word of advice, my tabaxi friend. Do not do this when we leave the shop.
What?
People are gonna get sick just by looking at you eating raw meat. Because that's not how people eat meat.
Most
usually.
races outside of Tabaxi can't eat raw meat without getting sick.
And considering that there's a plague going around, we don't need that.
Well, the good news is all of my products are guaranteed not plagued animals. Although I am plagued by something outside of illness as far as my animals go, it is not illness that's taking them.
Oh.
What is that?
I have a pesky wolf problem among my livestock.
Really?
Oh.
Really? Do you need someone to guard your livestock for a night or two?
I wouldn't dare impose on adventurers. you guys look like you're worth more than just, guarding my animals for a night.
But we...
Do you need something dead?
I mean, I'd hate to cause pain to any animal, but these wolves are kind of eating my livelihood.
Ah, I have fought many wolves. I
Ah.
would be most happy to guard your flock or to chase them away from your flock.
No. Well,
Yeah, it wouldn't be that much hard to watch for the guard duty. I mean, I've done it for a few years.
I mean, I've talked to some of the military officers, but they haven't gotten back to me on that.
Yeah.
So show me where this flock is. I shall track down, or I shall help you guard them, or help you keep them from these wolves.
You know what? At nightfall, come find me, and I'll take you right to my shop, or right to my home.
All right.
May I keep one or two of the wolf pelts for myself?
Absolutely. I just needed to stop eating my livestock. I usually make
Fair
people
enough.
pay to eat my product, and I've never seen someone outside of the wolves eat it raw before, so.
Ha. My character's happy. He just found a way to make some gold. Sell
Yeah.
some wolf pelts.
All right.
Oh, yeah. And look at this Dexter.
So as far as shops you haven't gone into yet, there was Literature of Legend, The Map Master, Oscar's Carpentry, Woven Wonders, Tactile Texture of Treasures, Sam's Breadtastic Creations,
I want to see the map.
The
seller.
Mason, and Medical Mercies.
I want to see the map.
You want to go to the Map Master?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to go to the Map Master,
Yeah,
too.
I kind of want a map.
Okay.
I'll follow them.
Okay. By the way, I don't have a working map yet, so
Yeah, so that's
we
fine.
can't give you a prop yet.
Yeah, we'll just write it down that we got it.
I don't have Devin Rue on speed dial. No.
Hey, sir, can you do the thing? No.
All right. As you enter, it's a room full of parchments covered with detailed or not so detailed drawings of places. There's a desk, and behind it is a framed map that is marked not for sale. It is a large piece of parchment with sand glued, pasted all over it, with sand on it. It says Mulhorand.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's a desert.
As you are approached by the shopkeeper, he's like, "Oh, hi, how may I help you?"
Oh yeah, we're looking for a map of this place.
Now, by this place, do you mean?
Yes.
Well, I mean, do you need a map of Belvenere? Do you need a map of all of Reidlein? Because honestly, my maps aren't very good as far as the colony. I haven't even been there, so I don't even know what it looks like. So I wouldn't be able to map.
I'm gonna have to stop you there.
Okay.
Just of every island here, of the whole country. I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, I only have maps of some of the more civilized parts. I don't even part of Eladon isn't even explored yet. I mean, I've tried to get out there, but honestly,
as long
with
as we
people
have
like,
a basic map, we're good.
Are you okay, good sir?
oh, I'm absolutely fine. I mean, I'm glad to hear that someone's considerate enough to ask me about my mental well-being. Honestly, I'm doing great. I don't obviously get asked much about that, so it's great to see that someone even cares. You are a very strange individual. I don't often see cat people through my aisle, but I do see cat people around the aisle, so I don't know. I mean, like Samuel over the.
Are you hungry?
Sure,
Would you like a
Riddler.
bite?
Huh?
What was our X?
Ask him if he's hungry.
Oh no, I already ate. You see, I went to Samuel's earlier, and yeah, by the way, another lovely tabaxi. Please don't think I'm racist. Anyway, he had this new creation that was quite confusing to try, but it was still quite pleasant enough that I consumed the whole thing. Anyway, did you come in to look for a map?
Yes. we did. Can we get a map of the aisles?
Now, again, which aisles exactly do you need maps of? Because as I said, most of the aisles aren't that.
We'll take everything we can get.
Okay. Yeah, the
Lean
shop.
down to the dwarf, and I say, I think he's broken.
Yeah, this is a human man. He's got long hair. It's bright yellow that cascades into a red at the tips. He's wearing heavy yellow clothes that is very bright. He's got leather gloves covering his hands, though. That's the only part that's like dull. His eyes are even like yellow, kind of a brassy yellow.
Are you sure they're not bloodshot as all get out right now?
They are not.
Or are his pupils dilated?
Roll me perception.
19. Holy cow.
His eyes don't exactly look human.
Huh.
Okay.
They have reptilian slits.
Ah,
Oh.
Oh, yeah, something like
yeah, he's been drinking the Jawa juice.
Too much venom.
So, can we get a map?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so for a map of the entire Isles of Reidlein, that would be at least 5 gold. But if you were asking for the specific islands, like Bellavenier, Eladon, each of those would just be about 2 gold apiece without it. It's a bargain for the 5 gold for the entire set, really.
Yeah, we would.
And I have deluxe maps of some of the locations with all the attractions and such, but those have to cost a lot more because they took a lot of time to create, and honestly I had to make a lot of deals with a lot of people to actually explore some of the areas that required me to make the map.
Yeah.
I'm getting exhausted running this guy.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that
But
I'm
it's so entertaining.
Roll a d4.
You said you saw another Tabaxi?
Oh yeah, we tabaxis aren't as rare here as you would think. After all, Samuel the bread maker, he's a tabaxi, and there's actually one of the noble houses over on oh god, it's called Bursting Cliff. Yeah, one of the noble houses over there is actually tabaxi, but I can't remember the name because I never go over there because honestly they don't really care for me over there because I'm a little bit of a talking person, and they don't tend to they prefer to keep all their talks brief, whereas I like to keep talking about it. By the way, where are you all from? I'd really like to get to know you all better.
slow down there, sir. Let's get back to the map.
Oh, right, the maps. Okay, now, again, that would be about 2 gold piece for each individual map. If you wanted to buy the entire set, that's 5 gold. But again, they are kind of incomplete as I did not have the chance to actually explore most of the area myself. Even though I am kind of a little bit of an accomplished explorer back in my heyday, I have kind of given up those adventuring days behind me. Last time did not go so well for me, so honestly, I'd much rather stick to just making maps over here. But if you would like to, I can actually, if you would like to go out into the wilderness and explore more, I would be happy to pay for any insights you might offer. If you were to help take me out there, I would pay handsomely for the ability to go and record more maps. But honestly, I also have to come back alive from that. So anyway, so just 1 map of Bellavenier, 1 map of Eladon, 1 map of Bursting
I'll
Cliff.
just take the set, the 5 gold set.
5 gold.
Yes, of course. I give him the gold.
Yes.
Okay,
Hi.
you have maps of the area.
I suppose once we get a little more acquainted with the
His eyes kind of flash as he as you hand him the gold. He's like, hee. Anyway.
I suppose once we get acquainted a little more with the wildlife locally, that we might be able to offer to escort him around.
Yeah, and maybe if we level up a little more.
Well, that's exactly what I meant by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of them. Once I have a job, I'm supposed to guard some wolves for or
started
to
at
guard
7.
some cattle for the butcher. But once we get done with that and we thin the wolf herd pack out enough, sure we wouldn't mind taking you out so you can learn to make more maps. But
So
you're going to have to slow down on speaking because I can't understand you that well.
I mean, I'm glad to hear that someone's helping out Charo because he's honestly been having this. I just realized he's got the same name as the Spanish person. Oops. Anyway, I was actually going for Chiaro, the Italian. But anyway,
Yeah.
I just decided to skip the I. Well, it's nice to hear that Charo is getting some help because honestly, he's been dealing with these wolf issues for a while, but he's too much of a general soul to even deal with them. And honestly, all he and I ever know is sleep spells when it comes to thing because he and I are both pretty much pacifists. Never understood what his deal is though, because I know he's definitely not human. The butcher, but he isn't anything besides human, so he kind of confuddles me a little bit, but every time I've tried to talk to him, he just kind of gets his eyes all glazed over, and he isn't sure what I'm even talking about, and honestly, I think that's how you guys are looking about right now.
Yes.
Well, I think he needs to put the sleep spell on himself. I'm kind
I
of
take it somebody gave him some Jolt Cola.
I mean, you can roll insight.
Yeah, I will roll insight as to why he's just a mile a minute.
I got a phone.
So 13?
7.
Yeah, you're all pretty sure this is just how he is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for the maps.
I guarantee quality, and by the way, if you ever misplace or ruin one, I can give you a replacement cost at only 3 gold apiece.
That's perfect.
That sounds excellent, actually.
Yeah, well, it's 3 gold to do the entire set, 1 gold if only one of them gets damaged. Okay?
Okay.
Alright.
Okay. Have a good day.
You as well! Oh,
And
anyways,
she leaves,
definitely.
and she's just looking really annoyed. Come on, she's not used to like people clapping.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so where is this bread maker?
That would be Samuel's Breadtastic Creations.
Sniff the air, see if I can smell bread being baked.
Give me a second. Yeah, you're pretty sure you can tell bread has been made.
These creations are
Follow it.
breadtastic after all.
Okay. Yeah, there's a wooden store that has the open front, with a full selection of today's products, is what it's labeled. Or they seem to be a long, thin cinnamon sugar pastry that are they're kind of rolled up, and they're for display at the front.
Okay.
That's a kitty.
I look at them.
Okay. As you approach, a guy covered in flour raises his head. It is a tabaxi. He has a white dappled pelt. Kind of like a white leopard. As he looks, he's like, "Oh,
Okay.
hi,
Hello.
hello. Were you interested in sampling one of today's selections?" I'm trying to get out of doing that last voice.
That's fine.
Did you set yourself
He's
up
saying
for
I
a
was actually interested in meeting another cat.
Oh, well, you'll find that tabaxi aren't so rare here. One of the noble families is actually tabaxi.
I've been the only one I have ever met.
Well, good to meet you then, and honored to be the second. Would you like to try one of my today's pastries?
Sure. What are they?
Just kidding.
I don't actually have a name for them yet. They're just rolled cinnamon sugar bread. They're very long, thin. They seem to have been fried. They're filled with cinnamon sugar.
Yeah, I would definitely try one. I've never had cinnamon or sugar before.
It's tasty. You've had a churro before.
Well, I have, but my character has not.
Yeah. Well, as a player, you know what a churro tastes like, and that's what he's experiencing right now.
Okay. So yeah, he just kind of, oh, this is different.
Yep, that's today's experiment.
Quite wonderful, actually.
Seems to be going over well with people. Much better than my last one. The loaf I made yesterday was not popular. I had to throw most of it away.
What was it?
Well, it was an experimental recipe I had come up with. It was baked bread filled with well, it was first it was green peppers, and then I threw in then I threw in some carrots, and yeah, I tried to even out the flavor with some raspberry chunks.
Oh.
And I covered it all in cream cheese, but it didn't go over so well, and I had to throw all the product away.
You don't
Oh.
say.
I wonder why.
Oh my god, Aaron's face is so filled with just despair
Oh.
as I further explain this disgusting thing.
Damn it, I'm a
So I
foodie.
would offer the dwarf and the elf a bite of my churro.
The elf says no.
Yes, I will take a bite.
You know what a churro tastes like.
Well, yes.
I don't know if your character does, but that's what your character's tasting is a fucking churro. Because I don't want to get sued by people, so.
Right.
I don't know who'd sue me for using the word churro, but.
Taco John's.
A maniac would sue you
Oh, hi,
for
Kira.
using churro.
Yep.
Kira.
I mean, they
Hi,
used it in
Kita.
Chrono Cross. Yeah, she's a butthole. Just a little black kitty crossing our paths, staring at us judgmentally.
Of course.
Dexter stares at you in judgment.
Otherwise, he just
Yeah,
had.
I mean, go ahead.
Otherwise, Samuel just has other bread products, regular breads all around the area. He just does a specialty bread that he displays to try to get people interested.
Nice.
And today it's churros. Oh, is Kita giving you a cleaning?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Poked her like right here.
Oh, poor kitty.
I know. She kind of did it to herself by jumping though.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep.
So how long have you been on the island?
Oh, I've lived here all my life.
Oh.
I'm not exactly related to the nobles, but I think I'm a distant relation. They were some of the first founders. Can't remember their exact name right now because we don't associate. But, you know, there have always been tabaxi here.
I'm still not used to the word tabaxi. I've always just been called cat.
Well, it's good for you to, I guess, learn your heritage. Yeah, the Selthuran, they're one of the major houses of the islands. They're one of the two main houses that rule over things in Bristol Cliff. And yeah, they're all tabaxis. If you ever see someone with a lion pin on their lapel or a lion symbol on their person, it's usually someone of the Selthuran family or someone, you know, in their employ.
In the employ of that house.
Yeah. Right now, everyone's wearing more of the butterfly if they're trying to go for a Bristol Cliff. Ever since the the Phineas Holdcourse started, he announced his candidacy for, you know, leadership of the island. So if anyone's gonna put on a pin, it'll be a butterfly in respect for him.
So are the other tabaxis, are they lions?
No, we're all a variety. It's just they chose a lion as their symbol.
Ah, okay.
I mean, I'm a little bit of a leopard myself, but honestly, I'm just a baker. I just realized I made the guy from Zootopia.
Oh my god. Baker by day, leopard at night.
Yeah. It's the cop from Zootopia. It's a baker now. Instead of eating the donuts, he makes them.
Clawhauser.
Oh my god.
Yes, Clawhauser.
Nice.
Okay, well, yeah, I would, make idle chit chat with him for a few minutes. Just kind of one of them. I don't really know what else to do. I'm waiting for nightfall, and then we're going to go help out the butcher.
If I can give you some advice here, I would say don't try to buy anything from the literature of legend.
Now, why is that?
Well, you see, the books there are quite nice, but she doesn't really sell them. The woman who runs the place, she seems to think the place is more of a collection, and she gets really mad if you try to actually buy one of the books she has for sale.
Well, that's interesting.
I know,
Well,
it's very good.
What's the point of trying to sell them if you're not going to sell them?
I've never understood it either. She's very strange. Not even gonna lie. But you know what? I just stopped trying to after she tried to attack me last time. I don't really feel like I need to buy a book anymore.
Well, I apologize for that behavior.
She tried to attack you?
She just got really mad and her eyes lit up and yeah. Swear she pulled a weird sword on me. She just Well. But otherwise she's very friendly. But you try to purchase any and she'll get downright abrasive, so I wouldn't recommend purchasing. But if you do like to comb through her books, as long as you keep it orderly, clean, don't smudge the pages, she'll be fine. Just the minute you try to talk purchases at the bookshop, she'll try to kick you out.
Okay then.
No one ever said. Yeah, no one ever said she was normal.
I don't think they will either.
No.
Isn't that one of the places you wish to visit? As he's looking to the elf.
No, not really. Not after hearing that.
Well, just don't ask to buy any of her books. I won't let her hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
That and you have magic, don't you?
Yes, but that would not be wise around books.
Surely you can protect yourself.
I would hope so.
By that, I think she means the books can't protect themselves.
Be like that episode of Winx Club when
Yes.
the tricks came into the library and just started destroying shit. Um,
Mm-hmm. No, no, that was Bloom. Remember in season 2?
I'm talking season 3.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was
Season 2
kind of
and
thinking of
or
Bloom.
the
I
Last
was like,
Airbender.
I don't find it.
Yeah, that was her trying to get the codex. No, I was
Yeah.
talking about when they like froze Galatea's wings and shattered them.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way,
Ow.
fucking brutal.
Yeah. Anyways,
Like I'm sitting here on this is a kid show and that's brutal.
kids gotta learn.
Yeah, that you can freeze a fairy's wings and shatter them off of her.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
But they saved it because Musa got her enchanted.
That's right. No damage actually done. It still had to be traumatic as shit.
Yeah, just a lot.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, if she's still wanting to go there, we'll go there. That I'm kind of curious.
As am I.
And if you're going out in the woods, I would definitely always stop by Medical Mercies. Just because you don't want to go out and fight the Fae without one of her products. It's pretty expensive, but it might save your life.
Alright.
Well,
What product would that be?
She sells a distilled version of a plant that you can apply to your eyes, and it keeps you from being charmed by fairies.
Okay.
Which, it's 200 a dose, but it's pretty good. Like, if you're going out into the wilderness, there's fairies everywhere, and they will make you do some
I
stupid
hope
shit.
they mean 200 hopes and dreams because.
No, 200 gold.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I don't think.
I mean, she's the only one who makes it, and honestly, it's a perfect protection against every kind of charm.
Yeah, I'm pretty
spell.
sure if we like try to even pull all our money together, we wouldn't have enough.
Well, then I wouldn't recommend going to the wilderness. Because, yeah, there are fairies abound, and those little fuckers will get you.
Okay.
So, just my recommendation, if you're ever going out into the wilderness, be sure to talk to Anita at Medical Mercies.
Oh my god, that sounds so fun.
Okay.
Otherwise, you could end up, partially a donkey,
Ooh.
Oh, it's how
and
about
thinking
being an
that
ass.
you own the world while you jump off a cliff.
Same.
That sounds particularly not fun.
Well, you'd think it was great fun until you hit the bottom.
Yeah, and then you
Well.
die.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah, so I guess we'll head over to the bookshop.
Okay.
Yes.
As you head into Literature of Legend, there is a well-dressed older woman in there. The place is immaculately clean. Like, books are packed away on shelves. Like, it should sparkle with a cartoony effect when you walk in. Yeah, there's an older woman, white hair tied into a neat bun in the back of her head, wearing a white dress, very old school marm kind of in appearance. Like, oh, hello, how may I help you? She's got like spectacles at the end.
Well.
I just wanted to take a look at your books.
Oh, please feel free to browse.
All right.
Okay, I guess, would it be investigation or insight?
Can I
to
pick up
see
a
what
book?
she has?
Probably holding it upside down.
Yep.
Okay, honey, that's not how you do it, and I put
Yep.
the book in the right way.
You see that he's holding a book of bad orc poetry.
Let's
Ooh.
not have you read that. Do you have anything that's more child friendly?
Well, we have the ABCs of the ABCs for barbarians.
That'll work.
Absolutely child friendly.
That will work. Where is it?
It is over, and she points you to exactly where it
Okay,
is.
so I grab it and put it in the Tabaxi's hands. Here
Okay.
you go, sweetheart.
It's like A is for apple, B is for bard. And it's like a picture of a guy with an instrument, just a stick figure.
B for Bard.
C is for crush.
Yes.
D is for destroy.
E is for effective.
He's getting the gist.
It's
F is
basically
for
F
fire.
is for fatality.
it's like an adult child's spelling, like a alphabet book, like somehow written for adults with children, childlike intelligence.
There you go.
Like, it's not called for barbarians because of the content, it's because it's assumed that barbarians are the ones who need it the most to learn how to read.
They're not wrong. He has absolutely no idea how to read.
Yeah, you're seeing the pictures.
Can I read it to him?
Yes.
Okay. Do you need me to roll anything?
No.
Okay.
It's reading a book out loud.
He'd listen.
Alright.
She gets through the alphabet.
Yeah.
Ah,
No wonder why it was for barbarians. That was a little barbaric. Okay.
I thought it was quite enlightening.
What do you say?
Said I thought it was quite enlightening.
Yeah. Do you want to try reading it yourself now?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
My voice isn't as pretty as yours.
Just wanted to see what all the hubbub was about.
All right. Well, I put that book back.
Okay.
Remembering the rules.
Yeah.
By the way, there are price tags on each of the books, so you're not sure what this is about.
Just confusion because of information conflicting
Yeah.
now.
I'm resisting the urge to ask.
I really want to, but I'm just like, man, I kind of want to let the dice determine if she says it or not.
Go ahead and roll if you'd like.
What should it be for?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, don't you wisdom, intelligence, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. You're the DM.
Yeah.
I'd take one of the books up to her and ask her what the price tag is. What's this thing?
She rips off the price tag. Oh, it just says put back when you're done.
Oh, it's an interesting thing to put on a tag.
Okay, I grab one. Well, why does this one say? Give me a price. Give me a random price, man.
Like $5.99.
$5.99. Why does this one say $5.99?
Which I just realized.
Probably 5 gold or 5 silver.
Yeah,
'cause-
yeah. I'm an idiot.
Oh yeah.
5 gold and 5 silver.
What?
5 gold and yeah, it would be like 5 gold and 9 silver.
Okay. So why does this one say 5 gold and 9 silver?
That's how much I paid for it.
But it says for sale.
I mean, this is a bookshop.
Okay.
Just wondering is all.
And she's like stroking the pen, the quill in her hands, and she's starting to crumple a little.
Something vexes thee.
Huh?
Something vexes thee.
No, not at all. Please continue to peruse my wares as she goes back to reading her book that she's got there. You get the feeling she's still looking at you all, though.
Yeah.
She's been on the same page for a while. She's just watching you guys.
I would ask, what are you reading?
Oh, it's Tusk Love.
Oh Lord.
It's a what?
I just threw out a name. It's from Critical Role. Tusk Love. It's a rather saucy book.
Well,
Okay.
now we know what she's into.
Does it have recipes in it?
Afraid not. No.
Not that
No.
kind of saucy, my good friend.
Perhaps we can find an appropriate book for you. Do you have any books that have recipes?
Yeah, I have. There are some recipe books in the cooking section.
Does she point to there?
Yes.
Okay, I go there and I take and I kind of like grab the tabaxi by the shoulder and lead them.
Okay.
Yeah, like, hey, we're going this way. This is where we're gonna get recipe. Anything in particular you want, my friend?
I have no idea. She just said saucy, so I thought she was talking about cooking.
Okay, so let's find one with a lot of sauce. You want me to?
Yeah, roll me investigation.
So 18.
Yeah, you find one that's specifically a guide to sauces, from the mild to the spicy.
Oh.
Right. I read him the recipe.
Okay. She carefully details for you how many how many teaspoons to throw into this one specific recipe, how long to mix it for, you know.
Okay.
Okay. Because I'm going to remember it.
Perhaps our good friend, the shopkeeper, can write it down for you, and I can just read it when you want.
I mean, would you like for me to make a note of something?
This recipe.
Okay, give me a moment.
Okay.
As she like uncrinkles her quill. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here you go. Hands it to the Tabaxi.
You have a recipe for mild sauce.
Well.
Okay.
And I put the book back.
Okay, cool.
This adventure is going swimmingly.
There's a bee on the stairs.
Well, I guess
thought you were pointing at the
I
book.
head out of here. I have no more use for books. I can't read them.
Well.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't
read
want
it.
to piss
No.
this woman off than I already have.
The gladiator who was not taught to read.
And that's why we went over your ABCs. God damn it.
Okay.
So he was taught to cronk smash, not read.
You know what? Maybe we should get you this book sometime, and we can slowly teach you how to read.
But why read the book? I honestly, why would you want to read it? What is it? What useful things does it contain?
Oh, it can give you information like that recipe. It can, crap. I gotta think of shit.
Will it tell me how to defeat my enemies?
Well, I mean, maybe if you find the right book.
If Monkstow was cooking it, it would.
It might even give you ideas for weapons.
A sauce recipe?
I don't know. Like I'm naming off stuff that could be in a book. Why reading would be
Sword of
important.
Tabasco.
Sword of Tabasco.
The flaming hot axe.
Yeah. It does 1d4 fire damage to your butthole.
The nacho cheese javelin.
Oh lord. You're coming up with wonderful ideas for weapons.
That's a tiny kitten. Well, not so tiny anymore.
I love you. Please don't leave. You're trouble. Oh.
Yeah, I guess we'd leave here, or I would leave here, or ask them, are we ready to go? Because I don't really think there's anything useful for me here.
Well,
Is there anything useful for the two of you?
Yeah, getting you this book so you can read.
But nothing actually useful that I can think of.
Okay. So otherwise, the only other shops you haven't checked out yet are Oscar's Carpentry, Woven Wonders, Tactile Texture Treasures, and Medical Mercies, and the Mason. It's just literally labeled Mason.
The
Okay, well, I've picked
treasure-
several stores out. You guys pick some.
I was thinking the treasury one, if that's okay.
Was it the tactile treasures?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tactile Texture Treasures.
Tactile texture. Yes.
That the TTT.
Okay.
Hot
So yeah,
Dexter.
you enter. It's got a lot of like dress forms with clothes on them.
Oh.
Some spare fabric that's been pinned into place. No real loose fabric, just clothes that are being made. You know, as you are approached by a woman with tan, she's got a deep tan. She's wearing a lot of layers, and yet somehow her leg and her arm are completely exposed.
Well,
Yeah. She has very intricate tattoos on there. Her hair is long, it's braided, it has beads in it, and she has a wedding ring on her left hand finger. It looks to be a string that has been encased in resin with a small glass gem in it.
I would inquire about the tattoos.
Oh, well, I mean, surely we should get to know each other, darling, before we start talking tattoos.
No.
Greetings, welcome to my shop. Welcome to Tactile Texture Treasures. I am Tanya.
I'm what, the cat?
That's what you've been calling yourself. We need to get you a proper name, dear.
I mean, cat will
That is
do.
all I have been called my whole life, is the cat. Get the cat over there. Send the cat to the post. Give the cat 30 lashes. Make the cat run 10 miles. Send the cat to the field so he can kill something.
Well,
I'm pretty sure we can think of a name for you sometime.
I suppose now we can make the cat choose a name.
What would you like to be called? Other than the cat.
I honestly do not know. I have never given it any thought. I figured I would be named when I've earned it.
Well, let's work on that then.
anyway, would the cat and his friends care for some custom clothes?
You can just tell that she's just, my character's just like, I would like
She's
to.
very curvy, but not very large.
Yeah.
Somehow,
Yeah.
very thin waist with big hips. It's very strange.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure that one of those layers is at least a corset.
Yeah. Would make sense.
Yeah, people don't normally have that figure.
Yeah.
What kind of clothes would you suggest? I honestly don't know. This is the only clothes I've ever had, is these. And point to the breeches I've got on.
I was gonna say, doesn't he just have like a loincloth or something on? So I thought that's what he said earlier.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we just get
Either a pair of breeches or a belt and loincloth.
Well, darling, I can clothe you in whatever you wish, but honestly, it's up to you. I can't honestly, suggest anything for you. You have to make the decision for yourself.
I look over at the elf. What would you suggest? You wear a lot more clothes than me. I mean,
well, we could at least get you a shirt and proper pants. That'd be a good start.
Something that would fit properly, something that, I wouldn't offend everybody, because people have been giving me a lot of strange looks.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I probably would too if I didn't know you. Especially in just a loincloth.
Well, I mean, this area is rather chilly, and one does not usually go around wearing almost nothing.
Yeah. The only thing saving his hide, quite literally, is his fur.
The only reason why I have this is because those guys on the boat gave it to me.
Still, I'm not one to complain. You wear as you will. No, I've been called strange for my choice of, wardrobe, but since I'm the tailor here, they don't have much to say about it.
Yeah.
And yes, all of the clothes made here are handmade by me.
Ooh.
Fancy.
I just made up this character today, and I already love her.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well,
so her name is Tanya.
Tanya.
Yeah. Yes, we could start by getting him proper
Tactile
clothes.
Texture Treasure.
Tactile Texture Treasures.
Featuring Tanya.
Yep.
T.
Yep.
Oh no, I got the Teen Titans thing song. I'm so sorry. Well, the spelling part. Anyways, I need to try to get it out of my head. But yes, let's start off with maybe like a shirt, some pants.
Well, I have some selection here of basic shirts, but
I just realized I got a character. Is she gonna end up being like his mom?
Maybe. You are party mom now.
Oh fuck. Okay, I'm cool with that. I mean, that's kind of what I kind of designed her after, because like you've seen the pictures of the character.
Yeah.
I'm like, they kind of give off that vibe in the games they're respective to.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to base it off them a little bit, so it works.
Okay.
Is that okay with you, Rex?
Yes.
I did not hear a word you said.
Sorry.
Is that okay? That she kind of is like the quote unquote mom to your tabaxi.
Hey, she knows more about this world than he could ever imagine. So yeah, he would follow what she says.
Okay. And now I'm over here like, ooh, out of player. I would definitely dress him like a little mama's boy. Like people like get those little suits for their cats.
Mm.
I would be that pet parent.
Mm.
Personally, anyway. Like, oh, look at you looking so handsome in your little suit.
I've like got to draw Tanya later because damn, as soon as I started like voicing her, I'm just like, damn, I like this.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Anyways, but yes, let's get him a shirt and some pants.
All right. Well, we have some custom models here, but if you want some custom interesting fabrics, you'll have to go talk to Leica over at Woven Wonders.
Leica at Woven Wonders.
Yes, it's right next door.
Well then.
Okay.
Otherwise, I have some basic models, but again, he has most of the custom fabrics.
It doesn't. It can be just basic. I don't care. It doesn't need
I mean,
to be too fancy.
This is up to you.
Obviously.
Well, what do we have in the price range of 2 to 3 gold?
Oh, well, I think I have a probably have a basic white shirt and pants, brown pants somewhere.
That would work just fine.
Most customers who come in here want something interesting, so I don't usually tend to keep the basics, but you never know when they might come into style.
Yeah, we'll just have to do that for now.
I actually had to borrow this from her so I could get some food for a few days because I am not used to freedom.
Oh, you poor dear. Well, everyone's free here, technically. We're just bound to the political system, which in its own way is pretty damn inconvenient as well.
It's bound to what?
Nothing but bad things about this political...
Well, the last leader was very inclusive. He didn't want any of the Isles communicating more than necessary.
Oh.
And it's almost looking like the new candidates aren't doing too much better. I think Slana's the only one that's really interested in bringing them all together.
Now, is that the cat or the butterfly?
Well, I don't think there are any Tabaxis currently running for candidacy. Slana's just she's just an elfin girl who seems to be sticking her nose in a place where she wasn't prepared to go. But if she's trying to pursue this, I'll give her my vote. She seems to be the most honest because honestly, I can't tell. I can easily tell when she's lying, and I don't know what her game is trying to pretend that she's better than this. But again, she's got my vote and my support. It's better to have someone who's so painfully honest that her nose crinkles when she lies than have a candidate who lies with every breath.
Yeah.
That is a fair point.
Yeah.
So for two gold, I will give you the pants and the shirt. And would you like a pair of socks to go with that?
No, thank you. I don't really think I can wear shoes.
I was gonna say he can try them on, see if he likes them. If he doesn't, we won't get it.
I mean, we have shoes and socks for Tabaxi. We're not exactly strangers to that race.
Well, he can try them on,
I'll
see if he likes
try
them.
them on, sure.
Okay. She actually does have shoes and socks specifically built to accommodate Tabaxi feet.
Oh, he would love that.
Yep, they're pretty good leather. She didn't pick out one of the premiums for you though because of your price range.
I was gonna pay for it.
Of course.
So.
It doesn't matter. He's never had footwear before.
Yep.
But it will definitely protect your feet from the ground.
Very nice.
And they're pretty comfy. So
Like
because
I said, he'd absolutely love it.
So because I'm feeling charitable, I'll give you the whole ensemble for 2 gold.
I give her the 2 gold.
Thank you.
One hell of a deal.
I always feel like I must be extra polite to those who are not human. My husband, I love him dearly, but by God, can he be a bigot sometimes?
Oh, no.
Oh, geez.
Yes, he usually gives discounts to people who are human only.
Aha.
Honestly, it's one of the things that would make me divorce him, but I'd still love him.
What's a divorce?
It's when 2 people separate.
Oh.
You see, darling,
Usually we Usually, if where I'm from, they just kill each other.
Well, darling, sometimes two people decide they want to spend the rest of their lives together in a moment of, whether it be childish love, experience, or simple never wish to be apart. For me, I never wish to be too far apart from Leica, but I will admit his racism can be a little grating, so I usually offer what charity I can to those he would charge extra to.
I understand what marriage is, but where I come from, a divorce is usually means somebody's dead.
Oh no, here all you have to do to get a divorce is go down to you either have to go to, if it was a religious ceremony, you have to go to Eladon. And if it was a more spiritual ceremony, you have to go to Bristol Cliff and file an appeal. At either location, an appeal must be filed. Both parties must consent, and the union will be dissolved within the week. I'm not quite there
And
yet.
he would just nod and say, okay.
Don't worry, you'll get the hang of this eventually.
Right now, he's just too busy looking himself in the mirror. He's never actually seen himself or dressed.
She's got one of those shop mirrors that makes you look skinnier.
Can I fix his hair?
It's funny. He's actually touching the mirror. It's like, that's me.
Yes, darling, that is. It's a pretty good mirror. It's hard to get glass out here sometimes, but I manage. It's more of an imported thing. We don't exactly get sand out here unless we want to go to Cat Dragon Isle.
Cat Dragon
Isle?
Yes, Cat Dragon Isle. No one really goes there, but if you want sand, that's your place to go. The weather there is uncharacteristically hot. It would make a perfect summer vacation, if not for the dragon. What?
Not for the dragon. Oh my God.
There is a dragon there.
Yes, a terrible beastie lives on Cat Dragon Isle.
Oh, gods.
Legend says he swoops down and eats those who abuse cats.
Well, good thing I am in the clear.
It's rumored that he lives on an isle made of sand because it's one giant litter box.
Well,
oh, okay, he's a little disturbed.
One would have to go somewhere. I mean,
but otherwise, I've never seen the beast. It could all be legend. Could be very true. I don't know. I'm not exactly a brave adventurer. I'm just a tailor.
No. Well.
Yeah, I would definitely look back at her tattoos. Just kind of, those are neat. I have never seen the like of those before.
Yeah, she's got like the entire sleeve on her one arm, and then her entire leg. It is hard to see where one tattoo and another begins. Just heavy tattoos. Peacocks,
well, he's never seen
snakes.
Anything like that. He's seen the gladiatorial tattoos where you get marked by your ludus and some marks for your accomplishments.
Yeah.
But the artistic ones he's never seen.
No, this is very artsy. Like you're seeing all kinds of animals interacting. Again, peacocks, snakes, some cats. At one point a spider. There's just
wow.
It's just a decoration of colors and styles, and almost looks like they're all blending into one another. But there's different artists like things on them, and there's like almost not an inch of her arm or leg that isn't tattooed.
Well, these are all quite impressive.
Thank you.
He would definitely tell her she must be quite the warrior.
Well, I would say I've had to shed my fair share of blood. Magnus is an imposing kind of tattoo artist, but he does fantastic work.
Well.
So you have got quite the number of trophies there.
Well, when you live married for so long, you have to get your trophy somewhere, I suppose.
Oh.
Of course, don't tell anyone. I had to go to the colony to get most of these done.
The colony?
Yes. Magnus, who lives...
I thought that place was plagued.
If you... That's an exaggeration. Yes, there have been outbreaks of plague on the colony, but honestly, there's been outbreaks of plague on Eladon. No place is entirely safe, and Magnus is such an artist. I feel I feel it's almost my duty to keep going back for more tattoos.
Well,
Maybe I'll go there one of these days.
Maybe.
Get marked.
Tell him Tanya sent you. He'll be sure to give you a discount.
I will do that. And he would actually do a slight bow to her.
Oh, well, thank you, darling.
Yeah, he's never met anybody like her. Kind of royalty.
She does seem very regal.
Yeah, and he's used to his the ludus master who spoke and stuff like that. He had to nod, bow to him. That's kind of what his mistress sounded like as well.
Oh.
Or the dominus and domina, I should say.
Ah.
Okay.
But yeah, and then after that, he'd just kind of walk around like, I have clothes.
So, as for you two, may I help you at all?
Dobby, stop! Dobby is free!
You sure I can't help you upgrade your style?
I think it's fine for now.
See, I would commission you to work on this character, but everything I've described sounds so fucking complicated.
Yeah, because when I was fetching her, I was like, oh my god, I hope she doesn't ask me to design her.
I'll design her myself.
Waiting for her to say, like,
No.
when you said, oh, don't worry, I'm fine. I was waiting for her to say, are you sure?
I'm not fine.
I mean, what you've got on is functional, I'm sure, but if you want to go for flair or unique style, show the world what you're like.
I think this is plenty considering what I've been through.
Okay?
Maybe another time when things aren't so savage.
Very fine then.
Wake you up.
And you, sir?
Oh,
I have things that could be, measured to your size.
Oh, I am but a simple druid, and I have no need for anything beyond what I'm wearing.
Well, I mean, I know certain silks are very favored by some druids.
Is there a hat in this shop?
There are some hats.
Can I grab one and just put it on his head? There you go.
What'd you say, Rex?
Well, I have my
Silk.
my vine circlet on.
I'm putting it on top of it.
Oh.
She's the more playful character, which is kind of surprising considering what she is and her background is.
Yeah.
Who dat?
Rex, what are you rolling?
Yeah,
It sounded like you were rolling stuff.
I don't care if your background was.
No, I was putting the pod in the Keurig machine so I can get a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Shit before.
But anyway, I have
No,
many things that could be
he
altered.
was just asking her what silk is.
Oh, silk is well, it's a very fine, very, very nice fabric that you can use to drape over yourself. And she pulls off she shows one of the layers of her outfit. This is silk, darling.
Feel it? Ooh,
It's
very nice.
Yeah, it's very soft. It's like on her upper arm, one of the layers.
Hmm.
Yeah, he would make sure only to touch it and not her.
She respects that.
Yay.
Yeah, I
Well,
grabbed one and had to
where
put it on his
he'd get whipped for that.
Dick.
Anyway, I have many things that could be built to accommodate such a dwarf, and again, I have silks made from the finest silkworms. Anything that could help. I know druids are adverse to anything wooden, but I'm not one to include, or not wooden, metal, but I'm not one to incorporate
I
that.
was gonna say, wait a minute, I
No.
am not averse to wood.
No, metal. But I am not one to incorporate much metal in my designs. Many of the clients that we get here aren't exactly fans of iron.
Should I roll insight to see if I know what you mean by that? Because I know what you mean by that, but...
Feel free.
Alright. Insight... That is a 17.
Yeah, she's talking about fairies. She's talking about fake creatures.
Yeah, that's why
Yep.
as soon as you said they're averse to iron, I'm all like, okay, player me knows what that means, but does character me?
So I don't incorporate a lot of metal, and many of the materials I use are very natural indeed.
Oh. Well, that is a wonderful thing to hear.
Now, of course, if you want something custom, you'll have to talk to Leica, but...
When I get more gold, I will have to come back and get more
Yes.
stuff.
When I am not so poor of coin, I will definitely have to return.
Very well, darlings. I'll see you then.
Right. Thank you. I take the hat.
And once again, bow to her.
Yes.
and
Can't really walk out with
Do
that.
not let me walk out with that on.
What was that, Rex?
He'd bow to her and walk away, or walk out.
Yep, she'd blow you all a kiss as you leave, and then close the door.
Yay.
My character kind of blushes. Not that anyone can tell under the
Yeah,
black
I
fur.
was about to say that, actually.
Just those pink anime lines.
Yes.
Okay, so you still haven't gone
Senpai,
to...
notice me.
You haven't gone to Oscar's Carpentry, which, by the way, is spelled Carpentry.
Okay, well,
Like,
he's obviously a woodworker, not a speller.
And Woven Wonders, which is right next door. And Medical Mercies. Those are the places you haven't gone yet. Because I'm giving you guys a chance to check out all the merchants because I put a lot of work into this before, night falls.
Yeah, especially since we really want to, like, level up with advancement
Yeah,
points
it lets you
before we
get
move
timing
out.
more in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We don't want to,
Yeah.
like, run out there and get slaughtered.
Woven Wonders.
Yeah, and in order for us to
Woven
level up,
Wonders,
we have to
okay.
play till 11.
Right next door. All right. You enter. You see a lot of looms and tapestries, first off. Fabric bolts everywhere. About as organized as the last shop was, this one is not.
Oh.
It's kind of a mess. The looms are somehow consistently working almost on their own. And you see a human man with a bright ginger, like red-orange hair. Just going from loom to loom, maintaining the work, but honestly, they're mostly working by themselves. He's not wearing as much as Tanya was, which is saying something. He's kind of like got shorts and a wife beater shirt on, as it's pretty hot in here. Like the equipment, the self-making looms seem to be putting off a lot of heat.
Is this magic?
As he
As I look back at the elf.
Go ahead and roll me Arcana if you'd like.
13.
These are not exactly magic so much as they're constructs, you're thinking.
Oh. Well, with all the cloth in here, you may want to slow down before it gets set ablaze. Hi, welcome to Woven Wonders. Oh, hello.
I'm Leica, as he wipes off his hand with the sweat.
Yes, I go to shake his hand. Is that what he was doing when reaching out?
Well, he was gonna just wave hi, but
okay.
yeah, he'll kneel down and reluctantly take your hand.
Okay. Well, no, I didn't know if he was
Yeah.
going to shake our hand. That's why he was doing that. But
no, he just waved his hand and realized it was covered in sweat.
Oh, yes.
He is very sweaty. This puts off a lot of heat in here. It almost feels tropical as opposed to the heat outside.
Oh, wow.
Holy fuck.
This is warm.
Yeah, the constructs, the looms they make a lot of heat. So, how can I help you? Were you sent here by Tanya, or were you just here checking for specialty fabrics?
Oh,
just looking actually. Tanya has quite a lot of stuff. She sold me clothes.
Ah. Weird that you're not more elaborately dressed after she got done with you.
I only had a couple of gold to spend.
Ah, that explains
it.
it.
Was,
I was gonna say
it was
I
what we
thought
could
that.
afford.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, which my friend here actually
you
paid for it because I'm light of
but
coin.
I still paid for it
As
for him,
the
so he
work
can use
put
it
it.
for food or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. Well, I mean, pick your fabrics. Whatever. If you see something you like, holler. Otherwise, I gotta keep an eye on because sometimes these constructs break down fast.
Oh no.
Okay, well we will let you go. Pleasure meeting you.
Yep.
And I turn and just kind of.
You also see on his ring or on his wedding ring finger, he's also got one of those. It just looks to be a string covered in resin. There's no gem in it like hers was, but it matches.
I'm going to guess this is her husband.
Yep.
A racist
Yeah.
asshole.
He got any tattoos?
Surprisingly, not so much. He's got like a serpent ring on one of his arms, encircling the arm, but otherwise not so much.
Okay.
Love you.
Well, yeah, there's nothing I can afford here, I'm sure, so.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, go to maybe the Mason. Unless there's something you guys want to check out here.
No. I got the kitty.
Honestly, nothing I can think of.
Okay, so yeah, still
Yeah,
play.
'cause, Tonga kind of told us he's, a bit of a racist asshole, so yeah, we'll leave.
Yeah, he's still acting polite, but you get the feeling he's gonna gouge you for prices
Yeah.
after
Yeah,
what you told
I
him.
get that distinct feeling.
Yep. Otherwise, there's Oscar's Carpentry. The Mason, which is literally just labeled Mason, and Medical Mercies.
Alright, well, we'll go to the Carpentry.
All right. Which, yeah, it's a painted sign, not a carved one.
Which is odd
Yep.
for a carpenter.
Yep.
Am I the only one that caught that? The sign is painted, but this man's a carpenter.
Yeah, he specifically carves wood, but he didn't bother carving his own sign.
Talk about lack of motivation.
As you enter, this place is filled with like furniture for very large people. You as a dwarf are feeling very underwhelmed. It's like frigging Little Nightmares, the furniture.
Good God.
For the elf and tabaxi, they're still a little tall, out of the comfort zone, really. Like the table is at your neck. The chairs, the seat is at your chest,
Are we seating giant?
As you look in the store, you see a very large, very green, grotesquely muscled orc who is currently chiseling very fine details on a rocking horse.
Oh.
Well.
No.
You make big furniture.
Yeah, the pieces of furniture that you can see are very high quality, but they are large as shit. And you can see on the price tags on each one, table is spelled Tabel. Chair is spelled with a Q somehow.
Yeah.
There's extra pronunciation in places. Like, hey, he turns to you. Oi!
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Looking for furniture? I'm Oscar.
Just new in town, looking around.
Probably can't carry.
Yeah, it's a little too big.
I understand. The chisel is like so tiny in his hands too. He's like holding it like a sewing needle. No.
Can I look at what he's doing?
Yeah. Perception.
See, perception +3, so that's gonna be a 12.
It's really good detail work. Like he's surprisingly good at this.
Oh wow.
It's surprisingly gentle a design for as big and as hulking as this guy is.
Well, color me impressed.
Yeah. You do really fine detail.
Thank you. This is for a child.
For a child.
What a
People
lucky,
pay.
Oh, a lucky child to have your craftsmanship.
Well, parents pay good.
Well, good on them.
Any commissions you want? My furniture's a little big for you, and you, and you. But it could make something smaller if
Yeah,
desired.
I don't see how it'd be that much of a struggle, considering you're doing very fine detail.
Was told this was for baby.
Well.
For a baby. Well, that's a big baby. Oh, hi.
A lucky baby.
Like gnome sized.
Oh.
Just a little bigger than should be, but not by much.
I like this guy.
Yeah, definitely has the look, but like, I'm really a sweetheart.
Yep. He's got these tattoos all over the place, but they're mostly like hearts and an angel wing.
Oh, so he really is a sweetheart.
Yeah, there's a donut on his forearm.
Okay, I'm not even surprised that he would do that.
Like they're all sweet, but they're like if you don't look closely, they just look like he's heavily tattooed. Got like a
Yes.
buzz cut of hair. Big
Many
tusks.
trophies, huh?
Hmm?
Many trophies, huh?
Yeah.
Point to the tattoos.
You a fighter?
Yes.
Hi.
Sounds about right. My people are pretty violent normally.
I am Gladiator.
I'm Oscar. As he holds his hand out to shake.
Oh.
I'd shake his hand. Hopefully he doesn't crush mine.
No, he's gentle about it. It's a very big hand though. It does like grab hold of your like large.
Yeah, it will probably wrap.
You're not certain if this guy is fully orc or if he might have a little giant in him.
I thought of a name for its back.
He's kind of one of them. I definitely compliment him on his craftsmanship.
Thank you.
I've never seen the like.
Thank you. Ran away from tribe to become a carpenter. This
Craftsman? Is that
craftsman.
Yeah, was that what you were about to say?
Mm.
Craftsman?
No, I was about to say craftsman, but didn't care for violence.
Not a lot of people do.
However, someone tries to shoplift, and he points to a giant ass hammer that he has behind the counter. It literally has the shoplifters beware engraved on the fucking hammer
Of
part.
the hammer.
Oh my god! I love it!
Point very well taken.
Very creative.
That, and I'm just sitting here looking around thinking, those must be some hellacious shoplifters.
Never had one successfully do before. I was warned by the other merchants they get shoplifters. I wasn't gonna let that happen to me. He didn't take into account that it's impossible to shoplift his product anyway.
Oh, because they're too huge.
Yeah.
Well, I know where to come now if I need any woodwork done.
Please do.
It was a pleasure meeting you. You have a wonderful day.
You all as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's get her out of there before we get crushed.
Okay, and then when we're leaving, I
By the way, he is barely tall enough for this shop. Like it wasn't exactly built for someone
yeah, so
of
he's
his
kind of
height.
just like this.
Yeah, he's like hunched over on his work.
And not because he's concentrating.
Maybe it's a mix of both.
Yeah.
He's leaning more because he's concentrating.
Mm.
Anyways, I kind of take the tabaxi side. I think I thought of a name for you, buddy.
What's that?
Gladen.
What's that?
Gladen.
Bladed?
Gladen.
And
I don't know why. I just kind of came out of my. I just thought of it because he said gladiator, and that was the first thing that came to my head. Was
Don't go
Gladen.
with it until somebody finds something better.
Okay. So I guess we're calling you Gladen now. It's better than cat.
that much is true.
Especially since that might be a racial slur around here.
Huh?
Especially since yelling "Hey cat" might be a racial slur around here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just, that's what it was where he was from, but even still.
Yeah. Oh, hi, kitty. Bean just came up. Okay, so there's the Mason and Medical Mercies. Are the only shops you haven't checked out yet.
Okay, well, somebody else choose. I chose this one.
I vote for the Mason.
I don't care where we go.
Yeah, it's just a place labeled Mason.
Oh yeah, Mason.
Yep.
My son.
Okay.
As you enter, you see a guy wearing lots of layers. He's got very dark skin though. Kind of the full, facial hair.
Mhm.
Not quite a long beard, but just like a trimmed beard.
Yeah.
He's got long black hair that's kind of tied up in a ponytail as he is looking through paperwork. He's like, "Oh, hi. Do you have a writ?
What?
A writ?
A what?
A writ?
What's
I'm
that?
assuming you don't have one since you came in."
That's yes.
Well, you see, normally when we conduct business, you bring me a writ with the commission, and I then work on making the bricks to fill the order.
We're new in town, and we were just looking to see what this place was.
No. Yeah, Bean.
Can't have that.
She hunts down rubber bands. Be careful.
Yeah.
So you're a coffee maker.
Coffin or coffee?
Coffee
No,
is what he
because
said.
Bean.
Yep.
Yeah, bean, coffee.
Yeah. But yeah, if you have a writ, and about 300 gold, I can get to work on a commission for you. Depending on the size, it might be more.
Well, we
That's a
don't
little
expect
my price
anyone
range.
dying soon, so.
Yeah, I carve the bricks. I've got a contract with a local quarry. Well, actually, a few local quarries. I even can import some shit too. My name's Cleo.
Well, hello,
Okay.
Cleo.
That is not a girl's name,
I was.
as he points to each of you.
Yeah, you definitely got that from me because I was like, wait a sec. I thought you said this was a guy.
This is a guy.
Well, my name is Gladen.
He
Apparently.
kind of looks like Lucio from Overwatch,
Nice.
but with more facial hair and more layered clothing. Lucio doesn't exactly wear much.
Yeah. I mean, he wears clothes.
So yeah, you bring me writ, you bring me the money, and I can get the bricks cut. Otherwise, yeah, that's about all I do. I work by commission alone.
Okay.
Okay. Well, pleasure meeting you. Have a
Yep.
good day.
Yep, bye-bye. As he gets back to
And
running
Lenny,
through the
okay.
ledgers.
Obviously.
And yeah, now it's just medical mercies.
Yay.
Okay, we head to the expensive place.
To be fair, some of these places are pretty spendy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can imagine.
So yeah, you head in.
Especially to the broke ass.
Yeah. Heading in, immediately, the first thing that hits you is the smell. It's very medicinal. Like, kind of like cough
Smells
syrups and such. You see on shelves, you see like healing kits, poultices, pouches full of medicines. There's a remedy for cough. There's just little things here and there. Little remedies for pretty much almost everything. There's nothing for the plague. You even see a few health poultices for sale.
Well, now.
As a
Just out of curiosity, how much are they?
they're marked 50 gold apiece.
What is he asking the price for?
The whole health potions.
Don't get hurt, anyone.
Well, that's why you got a cleric here.
Yes. Our healing comes by the grace of the gods.
Let it be known.
May she never run out of spell slots.
Yeah, you better hope only one of you dies. No,
Yeah.
you better hope one of you gets hurt really bad. That's it. At least for
Or
now.
we could just not get hurt really bad.
Yeah, because she only has 2 spell slots.
As you see a woman leaning over a counter. She's like, "Hi, how may I help you?" She has reddish purple almost hair. She's wearing some tight leathers.
Well.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. She's got spectacles on. She seems to be leaning over a current project with a bunch of test tubes.
Okay.
Roll me
Definitely
perception.
scoping out the tight leathers.
So you don't roll perception?
13. You got a 3.
FFS.
17.
5.
What'd you say?
I said 17.
Take disadvantage. You're too busy checking out the goods.
Well, okay, I was busy checking out the tight leathers.
Exactly. You're too busy
Yeah,
checking out the goods.
those goods, not the actual goods.
Yep. So yeah, go ahead and roll with disadvantage for some of the extra shit.
Okay, I rolled a 15.
Okay, that's still good enough. She's got quite a few potion, tiny vials around her neck. She's wearing a choker that seems to have something you're not quite sure is inside it, but it looks full of something. Like it's a hiding place. And she has a
My character. Go ahead.
and she seems to have what is almost, for a brief second, her eyes seem to flash red. But it's gone. Like as soon as you spot it, it's like over.
Well, now.
You're not normal.
Well, no, I'm Anita.
Ooh, she's sassy. I like her.
I'm Layden.
We should see how this plays out. Between an inexperienced Tabaxi versus her, yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
So, are you all here for potions? Maybe some healing? Or maybe something to make someone hurt?
Oh.
To make someone hurt.
Very tempting.
I'd be lying if I said
I
I
can
wasn't
make that
tempted.
and unsheath my claws.
Healer's kit.
Yes, those look, pretty effective. You ever dip them in poison?
Why, yes, actually, once.
Now, did that burn your flesh on it, or was it simply one that would go under the skin?
It burned my fingers a little bit.
She makes note of that. Thank you. I've been trying to get a Tabaxi to answer me for ages what would happen if they poisoned their claws. So,
Oh, well.
how may I help everyone today?
You have a pretty collar.
Thank you, darling. It's a choker. Oh god, I did Tanya again. Thank you, it's a choker. Actually, I said darling, I'm doing Tanya again. I'm like, fuck, I gotta change up Anita's voice. I think that was the voice I had prepared for Anita, and then I used it on Tanya.
Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I couldn't help but notice you had some healer's kits on you.
Yes. Yes, I have a few.
How much are you asking for them?
Oh, for the healer's kits. Let me see.
I think they're 5.
Does she have a wedding ring on?
No. Oh, yes, they're about 5 gold pieces to the lucky buyer.
All right. Could I get a couple of them, please?
What are 5 gold pieces?
The healer's kits. How many?
2.
2? All right. No sooner said than done, dear. As she pulls them off the shelf and I hand them to you, and then you actually see she's got some of those finger claws. You know that you see at like Hot Topic and shit.
Oh, God, can I carefully
Like the
put
metal.
them in her hand?
Yep.
Because I don't trust those claws.
Yep.
I would ask if I could see her claws.
She holds up her finger for you to see. They're just on her pointer fingers.
Still, it's just one of them. I've never seen humans with claws before.
Well, they can be useful sometimes.
Oh, I very much know they can.
Plus, it leaves a very noticeable mark, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. He's thinking combat-wise.
Well, that's what I'm talking about too, darling. Oh, damn it, stop, Tanya. That's what I'm thinking about too, dear. Dear? Darling.
Well,
I say darling, I go into Tanya.
Say that, just he's thinking combat.
Like, Tanya is kind of condescending, sultry, and then there's Anita, who's supposed to be more seductive. Anyway, what was that, Rex?
Yeah, I was writing down her name and which store she runs.
Yep. And of course, we've got your nasty assortment of poisons as well. And if you don't, I mean, if you need to make it yourself and store bought isn't fine, I've got,
Damn it.
I've got kits for that for sale.
I'm not actually too very fond of poisons. As I said, it burned my fingers when I dipped my hands in them. But I was told to by my domina.
Oh. So you take orders well, I take it.
Yes,
Okay.
I've done it my whole life.
Oh. Good to know.
I think that's enough.
Oh, are you feeling neglected?
Just gives her a dirty look. Like, you ruined my innocent child. Gives her that look.
She's eyeing you.
Wait, now what kind of eye is she giving the elf?
Up and down.
Oh, that eye.
Kind of interested too.
Oh.
You stay
Well,
away
he's
from
got a
me.
17 charisma.
Yep. Oh no, right now she's
That's a
eyeing.
trap. I'm sorry, that's a trap.
Yeah.
She's eyeing Zillith right now.
She doesn't care. She goes both ways. So she's just like, just stay away from the precious bean.
Now I don't know if you're equipped to answer this, but tell me, do elves have better stamina than humans? Maybe. How much more damage can you take?
I don't know.
No.
No, they don't.
Just about the same.
It depends on what you're asking for.
If you have to ask about that, then I'm afraid you're too young, dear.
She's just trying to clarify.
Now, as for the shorter folk, I imagine what you lack in height, you make up for in technique.
Oh my god, we are not having this conversation
Wow.
here.
This is all I can say.
With hammering and craftsmanship.
Oh, yes.
But do you know how to use the 3 seashells?
Oh my god. Okay, I think we can head out.
Now, if you're interested in my limited edition products, I have a specific item that would keep you from being enchanted or charmed in any way. Just apply it once to the eyes, and for 12 hours, no one can charm you.
Yeah, that's what we heard. But we also heard it was pretty hefty in price.
Well, it takes a lot for me to procure it, and I'm the only one who can make it, so I figure that gives me a monopoly on the price.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, I deserve something for my hard work, don't I?
Of course. I get that. It's just that right now we don't have the funds, so we are actually trying to earn some funds so we could purchase that in the future.
I see. Well, I don't personally have anything to give you money about. I have most of the research I do on my own, and I don't really charge for that. Nor do I pay for it either.
Ah, so you collect it yourself. Smart.
And I know where to get most of the ingredients myself, so I don't have to, bribe those pesky growers. You wouldn't believe how cutthroat they are.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to have you back it up to where you asked about the elf having better stamina because I lost my internet.
Oh god. She was just talking about some of her products.
Ah, okay. But yeah, Gladen would have definitely said, yes, I have much better stamina than humans.
I was asking the elf, dear, but good to know.
Gladen here, she was not talking about fighting stamina.
She gives you a wink.
Like, you poor innocent
They're
child, how
basically-
dare you corrupt him?
Well, he can take the hint. She's not interested in him.
Oh no, she gave you a wink. After you answered.
Okay, in that case, yeah.
Yeah, after you answered, she gave you a wink.
Okay, yeah, so it's definitely one of them. If she notices the blush.
You'd have to see it, because I'm pretty sure it's just black.
Yeah. Now she don't notice shit.
But he'd actually ask her if there's anything that she needs help with.
Afraid not, afraid not, dear. I get everything I need, you know. Yeah, the manual way.
Okay.
I grow most of the ingredients myself, and what I can't, I go into the forest for. After all, fairies can't deal with me too much.
I don't think many things can.
And you'd be right.
I feel like that was more cryptic than it should have sounded.
I'd love to try.
Try what?
Dealing with her.
Hmm.
He has absolutely no idea what that means. He's just heard his Domina say it to his Dominus several times.
It is
No idea what it means.
It is getting rather late, though, and I will have to close up shop in a little bit.
That's okay. We have to go kill some wolves.
Yeah. If you manage to get some of their teeth, I might actually pay you for that.
We will have to keep that in mind.
Noted.
Definitely.
No teeth, they hurt.
They're surprisingly useful in some compounds.
Did not know that.
I mean, it just depends on who you ask. Some alchemists turn up their nose at the simple ingredients, but honestly, sometimes the simpler things can be the best.
Well, we shall see how many we can bring you.
All right.
All right.
As
Bid her
for
a fond fair evening.
But I have to close up the shop as soon as you leave. There's a nightlife I have to get to, so if you'll excuse me.
Yeah. Heads up. Well, I do anyway. I don't know about them.
Yeah.
Leave.
If you're ever in Briston Cliff, look me up.
Will do.
I live over there. I just come here for my shop.
Yeah, so he would definitely look her up and down.
As she did to you.
And he'd,
And all of you, actually.
sash her out.
So yeah, it is starting to get dark out.
So we should probably head back to.
Go find the chop guy.
The chop
Charo.
Charo, okay.
Yep.
Chop Charo.
As he looks at all of you, he's like, "Oh, hi. Thank you for. I thought you were gonna skip out again, or I've had a few people say they were gonna help me and then do nothing.
If I give you my word, that is my bond.
Oh, you're ahead of some people.
That, and I'm not going to miss up the chance for bloodshed.
I suppose.
Well.
I don't want to get rusty.
Okay. I'm not much of a.
Without a fight.
I'm not much of a combatant myself. My mother is far more the combative type.
Aren't they all?
Oh, I suppose. I mean, every time someone tries to buy a book, she just flies into a fury.
That woman.
Yes.
Ah.
So why are her books for sale if she doesn't sell them?
Well, she's more of a collector, but supposedly she's not allowed to actually collect. She's supposed to run a shop if she's gonna have those books, but she wants to have those books. It's all because of my father and her allowance from the main family. Like, she's allowed to have the books if she's selling them. But in this case, it looks like she's trying to sell them, but sales are just bad.
Okay.
It's really more storage space at this point.
Fair enough. Lead on, good sir.
Plus, sometimes people find rare books, and she's more than happy to pay for those.
Oh.
Damn.
She's insane about them, especially like prophecy books and the like. Yeah.
Oh.
She's got a few, but not very good.
Like, how not good was it?
I mean, there were prophecy books about you know, famines that didn't happen.
When the sky is dark, the water will come from the heavens.
Sometimes that's exactly it. But she buys them because they're rarer.
Alright.
Okay.
So I'm guessing we're gonna follow him and kind of take care of his wolf problem.
So yeah, as you reach the farm, not much is going on. You actually see the older woman from the bookshop coming back. And she nods to you all. Evening.
Hello.
And she heads inside. That's my mom.
Yeah.
The wolves usually come around midnight-ish, so it'll be a little bit. Can I get you anything while you wait?
Perhaps some tea or
Which
coffee would
direction
be
do the
nice.
wolves come from?
Hmm?
Which direction do they come from?
And he would point that out to you.
And I would immediately take off that way. I rolled an 18 plus 6 for stealth, so
Yeah, the party isn't sure where you are anymore.
25.
That's water now. That's vanilla flavored water.
24. Sorry, 24.
Yeah. No, the party isn't even sure where you went.
Well,
Okay then. Hi, Bean. What
I
are you
was
doing
hidden.
now? You dropped
Did
it.
she have something in her mouth?
She did. She dropped it as soon as I picked her up. Though.
She's a butthole like that. Kitty. She's so cute.
I know. Wish you would stay that well forever. She's like, let me go. Fine.
What a
Anyways.
kitten. Anyways. Hi.
She's like, I'm coming up there. Okay, never mind.
Roll me survival.
10?
I was mostly talking about Rex. He ran off into the woods.
Oh, never mind.
21.
You don't really find any wolf tracks so much, but you're not feeling like you're lost.
Okay.
Oh.
So I wasn't trying to go so much into the woods, just trying to get to an area where I could stalk and wait until they come out.
Ah, okay.
so you're not like
So I know there's fairies in the woods, and I don't want to be fairy bait.
yeah.
Can you not?
Oh.
I want to make sure these are actually wolves that are doing this.
Yeah.
Hear me?
Yes, I heard you. Sorry,
Oh,
I'm being distracted by a bean. She is assaulting my books. In desperate needs of pets. Thank you. So yeah, as for the rest of you, you wanted tea or water or anything?
Anything?
He serves some tea. There's some, his house is surprisingly not too decorated. It's a lot like upstairs, Grandma's place, just like there's chairs. Not much in the way of art. There's a few like pictures, but hi.
Alright. Nice decor.
Thank you. Ow! Bean.
Did she bite you?
No, she clawed me.
God damn it, that's just as bad. God, she's such a troublemaker.
Yes, she is.
You're
She just
fine.
wants the cave. That's what she wants.
Yeah.
But I can't supply you with the cave right now. Because you're a kitten.
Yeah.
And I've got books.
Just try to half-ass cave it with the book.
No.
I don't know. There you go. There you go.
There you go, half-ass cave. You do find one picture of the guy Chato with a tiefling gentleman that you don't recognize. But otherwise, you know, it's just pictures of him and his mom.
So, who's the random tiefling there?
He used to be a friend of mine. He left though.
Oh.
Wanted to be a great adventurer. Took off to the, you know, the other lands. Probably on the boat you guys came back, you know, came here on. He probably was on it on its way out.
Oh.
Huh.
Well, I wish him luck in his ventures.
As do I.
So, is there anything going on outside? Like,
As the time goes on, it does get darker and darker outside until the sun has set. You guys make some comfortable conversation for a little bit until night falls. Yeah, night falls harder, I guess. No, midnight comes, and you start to hear the howls.
we better get outside.
Yeah.
Oh.
You
Could
know
you
the
not
cool
call me
part?
mean?
All of us have dark vision.
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
Oh man, it sucks to be you, Crystal.
You can all see fine, no disadvantage.
Aw. I'm sorry.
Okay, everyone who wants to get involved in the fight, roll initiative.
14.
21.
11.
11. What'd you get, Aaron?
14.
And Timmy?
11.
Okay. Sorry, just trying to keep
It's
track.
alright.
Alright, Rex, you go first.
Okay. How many wolves are there do I see?
Roll me perception.
14.
You see at least 2.
From the amount of damage they're doing, I'm going to guess there's more. Okay. I will try and pounce one of them.
Okay, roll me an attack.
17.
That'll hit.
Okay. Seven points.
Alright. Is it kind of... as you, kind of claw into its side.
Now I'm just having flashbacks of the
Ooh,
werewolves.
and for my second attack, I rolled a 19, so I know that's going to hit.
Do you have second attack yet?
Yeah, I have two-weapon fighting.
Yeah, 2-weapon fighting, I can't remember if that gives you exactly a second attack. I think it just lets you add damage to a second attack, but I don't think it gives you a second attack.
Second, like, he said he's a fighter, right?
When you engage in 2-weapon fighting, you can add your ability modifier to the damage of the second attack. Okay, yeah, you don't get an actual extra attack until 5th level.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah, I know, but once you do, you'll be able to add your ability modifier to the damage.
Yeah, like, none of the classes really take off until you hit 5th level.
Yeah. So, that wolf you just attacked is going to try to bite you, and it gets advantage because it's got another wolf right next to it.
Attack tactics.
Yep. Well, that's interesting because it rolled a nat 1 and a nat 20. I'm fucking serious. Are you purring?
She's purring.
She's sitting here purring in the cave.
Aww.
That is 7 damage. Or no, that's 8 damage.
Ouch.
Yep. Next attack. Next wolf goes, and it gets advantage. Does a 13 hit you?
No.
Okay, then it doesn't hit. That was its highest, even with the advantage.
Oh, Jesus.
Aaron,
All right.
there's a purring kitty in the cave. And you can see your cat friend is attacking wolves in the darkness.
Okay. Well, then, I will, jump.
Do you hear her little motor?
Oh.
Oh god. I love it.
I will jump in there with him,
Okay.
and let's see what I want to do.
Accidentally wrote Wharf instead of Wolf.
Morph.
So Wharf is second in initiative.
Well, nice to know it has a name. Morph.
Great, I'm fighting a Klingon.
It's a lot tougher than a wolf, huh?
All right, and at level 1, I'm guessing that wolf took a good chunk off of his HP.
Maybe a little bit.
Well, it did more than half.
To be fair, it critted.
Yeah. What is it? On a scale of 1 to 62, I'm about a 19. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him a pat on the shoulder with Cure Wounds.
Oh, I was just thinking of that. Smart, getting ahead of me here.
Well, I was gonna say I don't want. Oh, and so you gain back. Plus. 9 hit points.
Well, that puts me back at full, +1.
Alrighty. And
I wish the camera could capture her purring because she is a motor.
oh, I hear her. Did you bury her under the blanket?
Yes.
You made the cave.
I made the cave for her. She loves it.
Aw.
That's why she's purring, is because I made her the cave.
and that ends my turn because we're all level 1 and we get like 0 fucking turns.
Timmy,
How many do I see?
you see 2.
Okay, just 2?
One that is partially wounded already.
All right. I will take out my light crossbow and try to attack the one that ain't injured.
Okay.
17 hit.
That hits.
All right. So let's see. 1d8. Ooh, an 8.
Mm. How many?
8.
8. Nice.
I like these
Well,
guys.
you add your dex modifier because.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, are you proficient with the light crossbow?
Short bows, long bows, simple weapons, martial weapons, long sword, short swords.
Yeah. It would be either simple or a martial weapon. So.
Oh.
So what do I do? So I add 8 plus my dex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be 10 actually then.
Oh, you get it like right in the neck. Like it
Oh,
is
shit.
looking not so fancy.
Fancy. But you probably should have hit the one that was wounded because
Yeah, that is true.
these things are gonna get advantage.
Okay,
because of
Rex,
tactics.
your go.
Whose turn?
Rex.
Oh, Rex.
Ooh, nat 20. Hell
Nice.
yeah.
Oh man, my foot fell asleep.
Oh no.
Stretch out your leg.
18 points.
That is a dead wolf.
Yay.
How would you like to do this?
Break its neck. Smooth kill.
Okay. As you bring your claw around, you hear the neck weaken as it snaps. The wolf's head is tilted where it shouldn't be, and it collapses to the ground.
Oh.
Okay, well that wolf's dead. So second wolf is going to no longer get advantage on you.
Yay.
Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
Your purring is distracting me, Bean.
Mhm.
4 piercing damage.
Alrighty.
Aaron.
All right. Well, I guess I will go ahead and lay an attack on that one then. And yeah. All right. So I go ahead and swing at it with my mace. Ah, balls. Does a wait? What is the math on that again? Oh yeah, does a 8 hit it?
8 does not.
Yeah, didn't think it would.
Tammy, your go.
Right. I'm gonna try to get it with the crossbow.
I'll say I really should have just given you guidance and.
It's a 6.
Okay.
Well, okay, you know on the attack roll you get your proficiency
Oh, so that'd be.
and whatever.
And Dex.
Yeah.
You had your proficiency
So,
in
so
Dex.
that'd be a 10 then.
It still doesn't hit. Hey, Bean.
Yeah, because on attack rolls, if you're proficient with the weapon you're attacking with, you get your proficiency bonus plus the weapon's base stat.
Okay.
So just depending, like if it's like a finesse weapon, you add dex. If it's it's either strength or dex.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Aw, look at her.
Oh, she was like staring at me.
Oh.
She's just sitting here purring. All right.
What is up with
So Tammy, you did not hit, right?
Winking out of that? Now he gets up there to drink out of that. Bring a cat. Go ahead.
As 2 wolves attempt to attack you two, they miss very much.
Oh.
But they did come out of the darkness.
Well.
Leaving the one Rex is fighting with, and now you two have been attacked. Up close. So, Rex, it's back up to you.
Does a 15 hit?
Yes, it does.
Yay. 6 points.
Okay, the one you were fighting, how would you like to do this?
Okay, kind of like grab a hold of it and do like a, what is that, a German suplex?
Okay. And thus it is done. All right, Aaron.
Wow.
All right. Well.
Okay.
Let's see here.
If you're gonna eat the chia seeds, eat the ones out of the bowl. Leave Bob Ross alone.
Bob Ross.
So, for my action, I am gonna pat our elf friend on the back, and you now have guidance.
Okay.
So you add a d4 to your next roll.
Okay.
Yeah. And it only lasts for 1 round.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's my sock. Please stop attacking my sock.
So it goes for the attack or the damage?
It goes for the attack.
Okay.
I can't improve your damage.
Okay, I'm just
your
double
attack.
checking. Okay.
We'll go ahead and roll the attack.
Okay. 11 plus 2, so that's 13 plus 4, so 17.
That hits.
Okay. 6, and then you said plus the dex, so that'd be an 8.
8, all right.
Kata.
Okay. Wolf attacking Aaron. That's advantage because of pack tactics. Ooh. Should have been. That is a 19.
Yeah, 19 will hit.
Yeah, I admit I got scared when you said
5 damage. Piercing.
Dang. That's the worst part, is that like a hit like that is so much damage at level 1.
Mm.
Yeah. My god.
My god.
Alright, and then the wolf attacking Tammy, the one she shot just now,
Yep.
will still get advantage because it's got pack tactics and the wolves are near each other. It rolled 2 4s. I'm not even joking, it's the same fucking result on both dice.
Nice.
Damn.
So that wolf missed quite a bit.
Good.
The crossbow bolt in its mouth kind of threw it off. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's my keyboard.
I don't give two craps
You're
about your
lucky
keyboard.
It's not on.
Oh,
Little
wait.
shit.
Let me go walk back across it again.
You little shit.
That's how I feel about the little sock demon.
No.
Oh, you mean Bean?
Yes.
Little soft demon, my god.
Yeah, she currently keeps attacking my sock.
I mean...
Okay, Rex, top of the round. The wolves that were attacking you are dead.
Okay, and there are 2 more of them. One is attacking Aaron, the other one's attacking Tammy.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I will go after the one that is attacking Tammy. Can I, like, jump onto it?
Roll me acrobatics, but that would be all of your turn.
19.
19, you managed to leap over there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking, you better hope I don't roll bad.
Aaron, you have a wolf that just tried to attack you.
Okay.
That did just attack you.
Oh well.
Beat it with your mace.
But he's a druid, so.
5 from you, didn't it?
Yeah. I will go ahead and.
I'm surprised the druid's not mad at us.
He probably had his fair share.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna hit him with my mace again. Or for the first time. Balls. Does a 12 hit?
Just misses.
Yeah.
Tammy,
Alright, I am going
wolf
to...
really failed to hit you.
Yeah. Yeah, and now we have him on it.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes me, as a player, a little nervous. Because you know how bad I roll.
Mm.
So, I'm going to use the light crossbow and try and hit it again.
Okay.
11 plus 4, so 15.
That'll hit.
Okay.
And I wanted affection, and you didn't show her any, so she ran away.
Come back!
But to be fair, she is a bubble.
7.
So you, how would you like to do this?
Just right in the neck.
Okay. Yeah, as it pierces right into the neck as it bleeds onto the ground. You see its eyes look up at you, and the light slowly fades.
Yeah, you're really hitting my feels. Don't do that. You know what you did with the werewolf. Don't do that again.
It reminds you of a puppy. No? Okay.
Please don't.
So, last wolf no longer has pack tactics. All of its pack are dead.
You're welcome.
It's going to try to attack you. You know what? No, it's going to try to attack you. You just killed its pack mate.
Yeah.
That was a 3. We'll just have trouble hitting the war cleric.
Good.
My first
So,
character
Rex.
was a war cleric.
That's right, Edward.
Okay, does a 17 hit?
Yes.
Alright. I want to claw at its throat. 7 points.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to make a pretty good gash in its throat. It's still growling. But,
Growl back.
Iran.
All right.
Kabunky, man.
I'm just being absolutely useless with melee, so I cast guidance on.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. Tammy, your go.
That was pointless.
Oh.
That was pointless.
Oh.
What'd
It
you
was a
get?
net 1 with a 2 on top of it, and then 4, so that's 6.
Well.
But it's a net 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say you already got the nat 1.
So it like probably doesn't count the other.
Yeah, as you go to shoot, you can hear a ding as your crossbow it jams, and the little bolt that was gonna be shot just kind of in the mechanism.
Flips it sideways.
Yeah, it kind of crushes it, and you're gonna take a bit to ease that out before it can be shot again.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling I know what I'm doing my next turn.
Okay.
Or I could be that bitch.
Wolf is attacking you. That was a nat 1. It smashes its face on the ground.
Who was it attacking?
You.
Oh, well, that's fair. I mean...
You killed the other wolf, so
Yeah.
wasn't look too happy with you. Rex.
19,
That'll hit.
7 points.
How would you like to do this?
Grab it by its head, pull it up, and just slice its throat clean open.
Okay. Yep, you are covered in wolf's blood. As you slice the throat open, separating the flesh and the muscle.
Nice.
Wolves are dead.
Throw my head back and let out a roar.
Kitty is roaring. Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Yep, so I'm gonna fix the crossbow real quick.
Alright. Roll me a sleight of hand.
God damn it, it's 5. Well, no, yeah, 5. Because it's 3 and then I got a +2.
What are we rolling?
Oh, she was trying to fix her crossbow.
Oh.
And I failed miserably.
Yeah, yeah, you don't even manage to dislodge the bolt. It's pretty, like, stuck in there. Like,
Yeah.
You do have another weapon,
Yeah. I like to have some magic too.
there must have been some magic.
Out of character, I actually was thinking that for her next turn, and I was going to ask you about it if Rex didn't kill it, is that would it cost her action to throw it to the ground? You know, just drop it and cast a spell.
I would have allowed it. Some other dungeon masters you wouldn't, but it's a light crossbow, so
dropping your weapon would be a free action, wouldn't it?
yeah.
But I mean, that's what you're specifically doing is just dropping it out of your hand.
Yeah, kind of like
so
okay.
you can use your hands for the
like just like okay, that's not working. Let's do this.
Yeah. So I would allow it. Some DMs are kind of anal about the you know, equipping and equipping.
Yeah, that's why I
weapons.
asked.
But I would have just allowed for it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like I said, if Rex didn't kill it, that's what I would have done.
So you have all won.
Yay!
Night is still not that much time has gone by. It's still around midnight, a little bit later, but you know.
Drag the wolf bodies up to the butcher's house.
Okay.
And see if he would be willing to help me skin
And don't forget the teeth.
try and keep some of the meat. But I would definitely tell him I want the heads if possible.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'll be happy to help with that. And you know, if you ever shop at my shop, I'm sure to give you a discount for this. Also here is
That was good meat. You better
Yeah.
believe I'll be shopping there. That's my new favorite place.
Yeah. Anyway, here's 50 gold.
Ooh, was not expecting that.
He hands it to all. That's 50 for all three of you.
Okay.
To split?
Yeah.
No, like.
It's like it's to split.
Okay, so I don't care how we do that then.
Sorry, I'm not exactly a rich man.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no.
Hey, I'm not kicking. I was not expecting gold anyway.
Well, we should give Gladen some.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say at least a third because he did most of the damage. I don't know how you would want to split that. I don't care.
That's up to you guys.
I don't care.
Yeah, no, I am okay with any way you want to split this.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I figure we split it.
Well, because if you want to split it like evenly,
That's what I was thinking.
2 people would get 17 and 1 person gets 16.
I'll take.
He's
the
good at
16.
math.
I'll take the 16, and you guys can
Oh,
take the 17.
I mean, I can take the 16 since I spent less today than you guys did.
She's a soldier, so she doesn't really expect much.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
that's
if
why
he
you
gives
will
me
take the
15,
lesser amount.
if you give me 15, I give 10 back to Zelef.
Okay.
yeah, no, that's another reason you should get 17. So that way, you know, we already know that you owe her that 10, so.
So let's see. So how much am I getting then?
You 2 get 17, I'll get the 16.
I thank you. I thank you guys much.
Neat.
If you need a place to stay, I've got I don't exactly have much room in my little cottage. I mean, I have a spare bed because he just left, but it would just be one of you. I don't.
I can sleep in the barn.
I mean, that's a fair point if you're okay with that. I would never want to make someone.
What I'm used to.
Well, I wouldn't want to be rude to someone by making them sleep in the barn.
I'm getting wolf pelts and I have a roof over my head. I'm happy.
Yeah, I'll work on that over the night so that they'll be ready for you in the morning.
Okay, so I'd be more than happy to help.
I'm a butcher. I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
I appreciate the thought, but you've done enough. Thank you. You've done more than enough.
Hopefully this will help you. Hopefully this will help you and your herd.
I'm hoping. These things were a real menace. My mother and I aren't really that, that combat useful. She's getting up there in age, and all she's good at is attacking customers.
Well, should you ever need something to help defend your herd again, please feel free to let me know.
No, absolutely, and if you should, again, I will be happy to make sure you get a discount on any of the meats in the store.
Just be happy to continue shopping there.
So yeah, he offers a bed.
He can have it.
It's a bit big for you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if there's a fenced-in area where I'd be safe, I can actually sleep, happily among the stars.
This
sleep
is up
out
to
in
you
the
guys.
barn with me if you like.
She's an elf. She doesn't really care.
What kind of elf are you?
She's a high elf.
Then you'd care a little.
You would care a little.
But she's been through shit. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like maybe when she was younger, she probably would.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's not the dirt.
Yeah, I could venture outside with Gladen. Yeah, I was gonna call him Glendar for some reason. No, Gladen. I knew it was based on Gladiator, but
You're welcome for the confusion.
Are you just sleeping, or are you gonna set up watch, or because you're kind of in a friendly area, you don't have to if you don't want to, but
I'll sleep.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to fix that crossbow and then go to sleep.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
roll
don't
me-
need to sleep. You just need to
Oh,
meditate
trance.
for
Yeah.
4 hours.
Yeah, you get the point.
Yeah, so you can spend 4 hours and still get a long rest.
Yeah, so what did we roll into fix
Um,
sleight of hand again?
Are you proficient in sleight of hand?
No.
Okay, then just roll me a dex with proficiency.
So that'd be a plus 4. 14?
Yeah, you managed to dislodge it.
That bolt's probably crap.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
bolt is
After being
ruined.
Pinned, after
Yeah.
being pinned up against the guiding pin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that bolt has been mangled.
Yeah.
But the crossbow itself should still work now.
Yeah.
And then you go to sleep.
Yep.
Okay. Aaron, you doing anything to prepare for bed or?
Not really. I mean, like, he's a butcher, so I imagine he's got like straw
Yeah.
out there, and I imagine
Yeah,
that
he
he's...
raises all of his livestock
Oh
himself.
yeah, well, because I imagine he's also got like
Yeah, you'll be
awnings to
yeah.
keep his for his animals to get.
Yeah, you're spending the night with
dry.
a few cows,
Yeah,
couple pigs in there.
yeah. I'll park under the awning,
Okay.
so that way if it decides to rain or something, it's okay, and just
Okay.
bundle up some straw, sleep on top of that.
Alrighty. And I think that'll about end it. It's almost 11. I'm gonna count it here. Ish. 8, 9, 10. That's 3 hours worth. Or yeah, I'll count it for the total of 4.
Yeah.
11,
Yeah.
7, 8, 9, 10,
Because
11.
it's almost
4.
11.
It really is. And we started right around 7, so.
Yeah. So yeah, we level up then.
Yep.
Perfect.
Good job.
Yeah,
Welcome to
we're up.
Reidlein.
So
Yep. I will figure that out when I get home.
I'm
I want to take the liberty of doing it myself.
going to need to see that blood druid box thing, because
Yep. That's when you this is when you get it.
Yep.